life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Download the iHeartRadio app and listen to thousands of live radio stations, podcasts, and stream unlimited music playlists for any mood or activity. Powered by City Kia, Central Florida's favorite auto dealer.
City Kia. Glad to finally have you over. What do you think?
You could install a bay window to let in more natural light over there.
Huh?
Sorry.
Sorry, it's just that I saved hundreds on my Navy Federal Credit Union home equity loan. Now I see potential home improvement projects everywhere.
Learn more about how our home equity loans with no closing costs can help you get more from your home base at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender membership required. Loan subject to change.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt. Orlando's injury attorneys.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. Lots to get to today, from Hunter Biden in court to a remote tribe now has internet access. And is ESPN gonna fire host Pat McAfee? Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's up?
Hello, hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right in the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday. That means you tell somebody about the News Junkie radio show. Just tell them, hey, I listen to this show. I think you'll like it too. Here's a link to the podcast. Here's a link to the live stream. Those of you over on YouTube, hit that like button. Do your job for a Share the Show Tuesday. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Not bad.
Glad you're alive.
Yeah, this is my life, man. My life is full of so many.
My texts.
I'll explain.
Apparently that's my fault.
Yeah, I'll explain. It's not
found a way to blame me.
I'm not really blaming
I thought
you.
Something had happened. I got very scared.
I'm not really blaming you, C-Lane. I'm just saying, like, this is the kind of crap that happens every day in my life. Like, things don't go normally. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And then I always look like the asshole. It's just how it is. It's just like how it is in my life. I always end up looking like I've done something wrong, and I'm like, oh God. So we have a meeting on Tuesdays usually, and I don't miss many of these meetings. I'm usually right there on time, ready to go. But this morning I woke up and I said, okay, got a meeting coming up in just a little bit. Make sure we're there for the meeting. And I'm trying to get all the stories printed, get everything ready, all the show prep done to get the show done today, blah, 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 right? And then I forget about it. Okay, honestly, I just forget about it. But Sabrina texts me and says, like, hey, meeting, which I would have seen that, and I would have gone over to my phone and went right to the meeting and chatted with everybody and got all caught up. But because when we live stream, we center all this through my studio, little notifications pop up sometimes. So C-Lane made it so the notifications are silenced between certain times. And so when I get text messages on my personal phone between those times, I don't get any notifications. So
okay,
I didn't get any notification that you were like, hey, you're late, dummy. Come in here. Get it. This is just how my life works. And C-Lane's like, oh, you got to change your settings times. And I was like, you set up the notifications. And he goes,
I honestly didn't even realize that I did that.
He said, that's attached to your phone? And I said, yes. And it's fine. It's not a big deal. But, oh, God.
I thought you were dead.
No. I'm not, no.
There was,
Why?
after you
what
did
about me? It makes me, do I look like I'm in that frail of health over here?
No, I just like the fact that you didn't answer. And then I sent you the big eye emoji. And then eventually I just side text C-Lane like, hey, is he on the camera? Like, is something going on here?
And C-Lane saw me on the camera. C-Lane saw me on the camera in my studio.
I wasn't going to mention that part.
And instead of saying, guys, I see him. He's okay. Everything's fine. Must have been some communication
I didn't know anybody thought you were dying. I thought you were just blowing off the meeting.
My psyche.
My God. You know what? All right, let's move on.
Jack wasn't like, is he alive, Daddy-O?
No, but Jack's going to be like, he's a dick and he doesn't think my meeting is important enough.
Jack already thinks, do you think that?
I know, because of stuff like this.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Share the show.
Therein lies the problem. So make sure you share the show, everybody. But don't share that part. Don't share that part.
No.
I'll have to explain to them why I'm angry and screaming and just a lot of things. Okay, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great big wide world of ours. And we go to Fox 12. And on Fox 12 in Oregon, they were doing their thing. They got like a whole forecast going on, a whole report. And one of the members of the staff, the news anchor, seems to have forgotten that there's like a TV show going on.
Oh, okay.
And she just walks in front of her friend's live shot and then awkwardly stands there for some time. Here we go.
To remind people, I know it will be tempting to go in the water, have fun. We did that story about bringing a life jacket and bringing in...
She comes in, and then she's like, whoa, I'm on TV. Hey, look at me today. And then she's like, oh, no, this is a live shot from somebody else right now. I'm not supposed to be here right now.
To go in the water, have fun. We did that story about bringing a life jacket and bringing in...
Then just wanders on.
Sorry.
Oh, they got him. They got him. They got the giggles. The giggles have started.
It's always fun. I love when stuff goes wrong, except for when it happens to me, clearly. You know, that's not the most thrilling part of my day necessarily. But I do have some news to share, and that is last night, as discussed, I watched the Dancing for the Devil docuseries.
Nice.
Is that why you
Did your homework.
put on your Let's Start a Cult shirt?
No, it's just a coincidence. But actually, I thought about it as I grabbed the shirt. I was like, oh, yeah, watch the thing. I was like, but Dancing for the Devil was a documentary we've been talking about. I didn't know too much about it. Here's all I knew. TikTok dancers, cult. That's
Sure.
basically all I knew. I didn't even know yesterday. You guys had to tell me yesterday, like, these people are still on social media and, like, posting on social media now.
I went down a wormhole and tried to find all of them, especially the main girl. Who,
Yes.
After, I think it was in episode 2, where I was looking it up, I'm like, oh, okay, little spoiler alert, they're all still getting along. But then you watch the 3rd episode, and it's like, fake.
Yeah.
So fake.
So, for everybody who's not familiar with this, we watched this last night, Dancing for the Devil. It's on Netflix if you want to catch up with it, and I think you should see it. It's about this man who runs a church, and he runs into these folks who are dancers on TikTok, and they have very big followings. And he says, look, I can manage you. I can help you out. I can bring you to fame and get you all the money that you're looking for. And they believed in him as a manager, and he said, I'm going to start a company. It's called 7M. I think the 7M was for like 7 million, the total amount of subscribers people had or whatever. I don't know. They kind of fumbled around that. And then he starts up this management group. And the thing is, there's like a 20% management fee, which is normal for somebody who's managing a social media talent. But beyond that 20% fee, there's also, you give 10% to the church as a tithing, and then 10% goes to, what did he call himself? Like God man or the man of God?
The man of God.
10% goes to the man of God. Now we're up to 40%.
Hallelujah.
And then they expected even more than that above and beyond.
Wasn't there just a straight up God fee that goes right to God?
I think there may have been. Well, there was the tithe. Maybe that's a God fee. I don't know.
It's supposed to be.
They
Seems
ended up
like there's a lot of tithings.
Yeah, a lot of the money went to the church and this guy. And then one of the most bizarre things to me was like the structure of this, where you had him and he was like the man of God, and then his wife was the woman of God.
That took a while.
That took a while for all this to form. And then you had like the counselors, I think, under them who
Very
would
pyramid.
Yes, we're shaping into a pyramid here. And then all like the parishioner people underneath that. And it felt like, I loved how they had the audio of his sermons.
Oh, same.
Nobody else in a sermon is like, guess what, everybody? Jeremy locked in the Cottonelle deal for $34,000 last week.
Look at that, doing
praise God.
work.
Also, much like our recent discussions about the Pope and how there's been like leaks of what's been said behind closed doors, somebody straight up bringing an audio recorder to these sermons.
I think so. I think so. Unless they were recorded for some other reason, I think that somebody must have recorded these, and you could hear him talking about all this stuff.
This guy's been getting away with it for decades.
Yeah,
this
that
is
was
just
weird.
The most successful part. You know, he attempted to have influencers in the past. Like one person tried to be a singer, and then there was another, like, I don't know,
another dancer, but like
maybe,
before all of this.
But then when the dancers came in, it was like money was flowing.
Yeah, and I thought, like, when I watched the second episode, I feel like they've lost the plot a little bit. We're not even talking about the social media influencers anymore, but they had to tell that backstory to get everything where it needed to be. I got a couple of theories. One is, I don't think, and Courtney and I were at odds on this a little bit last night, I don't think you have to be, like, necessarily dumb to fall for a cult, to be in a cult, because she's like, I would never fall for this. I can't understand how somebody would be in the mindset to fall for this. I don't know what it is. There's something there that makes you more susceptible to being a cult. And it was funny because a lot of them were like, you could see the moment in the interview when they were talking, they were like, I realized, oh my God, I'm in a cult right now.
Right.
Like they went from not understanding to like, whoa, oh my God, I'm in a cult right now. What's happening here?
But then you have those people that are realizing that, and then there's other people who still have no idea. And
still
it's
staying there.
It's fascinating to me, but also so scary. It made me think about, like, there was a very good friend of mine in college, and I had put this in the back of my mind until watching this. And it's like, there was a friend of mine who totally got into this crazy little wormhole, but because there was like 2 or 3 people they had met online that validated their thoughts, like I had to sit down with them as they told me that the government was taking over and they were listening on our phones. I had to put my phone away. I had to leave it in the car.
Yeah.
Aliens were around, and I'm just like,
and you can't talk sense into them.
How did you get here?
Yeah, and it takes a long time to get them out of it. I think one thing that may have led to this for the main girl who's still on TikTok and has a very large following, by the way.
Huge.
And bizarrely enough, when you see the first videos of her and her sister talking about how they love each other and here's all the reasons why I love you for your birthday, it's like this sweet video between the two of them before they split and the other sister drops communication and goes into this cult. The girl who is the sister who went into the cult completely changed her appearance. Like she looked like a different human being to me.
Looks great, by the way.
When she got it, not that she looked bad or good on either one, but that she looked very, very different. Like she became another person.
But then all you saw was what she posted online, and the only like that moment where she decided that she was going to meet up with her parents and goes live.
That's weird.
That was the first time where you look in her eyes and it's like there's nothing going on.
Yeah, and the dad
stare.
and the mom. At first, I'm like, are you just annoying the hell out of her? Are you just being so annoying that she doesn't want to hang out with you anymore? Because I do give some credence. At one point, she said, "Look, I'm just like having my wild streak right now. I'm sowing my wild oats." And I do believe. Have you guys ever met somebody who, when they were a kid, they never had like those bad years where they went a little wild, and then they'll do it in their 20s or their 30s or even their 40s. Like they'll have that streak where they make bad decisions and break bad for a little while.
This wasn't even like, I don't even feel like this is that late or that uncommon, but because of who I was in like high school and like, went to parties, drank, like, through hotel room parties, stuff like that. And then I had a friend who was very much the good person.
The good kid who never made bad decisions.
Didn't do nothing bad until she went to college, and then college like we're chatting online or something like that. So like, how's college? You sowing your wild oats yet? And she's like, yeah, I am.
But acknowledged it.
Almost like overdoing it to make up for lost time.
I think that happens with people. It's just weird that it might happen with a cult. And a very interesting watch. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's about this pastor, Robert Shin, his company 7M. And even when like the reports were coming out,
calling him a pastor? I mean,
that's the best way to refer to him, even though it's like it's totally warped out the whole thing.
I feel like
the guy was celebrating when the Rolling Stone article came out calling them a cult and calling him a cult leader. He's like, this is good. Yeah, this is good. We're famous. They're talking about us right now. It's all very strange. So, yeah, do check that out. I think a lot of you will find it interesting.
We finished it last night, and somebody had even said in the thing, and I was like, that sounds familiar, because towards the end, where I'm like, man, wrap it up already. I think they stretched that into 3 when, again, it could just be a feature-length documentary, guys.
Right. I don't know how they do that.
But I had already checked out by the time that the Asian woman and her mother or sister
were
having that really like deep tear-filled conversation.
Yeah, that made me cry a little bit.
It was awkward though. The one girl's like, I don't want to get close to you.
You have no idea what I've been through. The sister was like, why didn't you tell me? Sorry, you were late.
It's so awkward because you think in your head, okay, this is the key point probably to take from this. In your head, you think somebody goes into a cult. Let's say Sabrina goes into a cult.
Hey, what up?
And Celine and I are trying to get a hold of her. We're trying to get her out of this cult in like
I was trying to get a hold of you this morning.
Kind of. 7-8 years go by, and Sabrina's in the cult the whole time. And then Sabrina comes to, and she goes, oh, my God, I'm in a cult. And she leaves the cult. You think you're just going to go hang out with her, and it's going to be like, oh, my God, thank God we got past that. But it's not like that. It's like it doesn't just become normal afterwards.
No.
There's like damage done from all of the time that was spent inside the cult itself. If you've seen it, let us know what you think. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. When we come back, is ESPN going to fire one of their hosts, Pat McAfee, for some comments yesterday? If you haven't heard them, we'll play those and talk about what's going down. We've got an update on the Stingray that was pregnant and only in a tank with a shark.
What?
Right.
Big update, big news, folks.
It's the shark's baby.
Maybe it's coming up next on the News Junkie.
They won't tell you this, but your pets are pretty lonely when you leave. No worries. We'll keep them company. Just say, Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Traveling on I-40, you could expect your regular delays before Champions Gate between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. There's off-ramp backup from the Greenway southbound to Colonial Drive and intersection backups where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway. Multiple lanes are blocked in all directions where Florida Avenue meets Oklahoma Street, and the right lane is blocked on Forest City Road northbound at Pembroke Drive. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to now.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will. When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
A weekend full of superstar performances this September.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 14th.
But starting June 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
Don't let spring allergies make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution trusted by over 4 million people, Navage. Only Navage uses suction to flush out your sinuses using refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at your local Sam's Club in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better immediately at Sam's guaranteed best price. Navage, Navage. Breathe easy.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
One more rep. You got it.
10.
Nice work. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I gotta tell you, taking Nugenix Total T makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix, that's the testosterone booster TV ads with Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, right?
Yes, the key ingredient is Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles to people?
Yes, Nugenix is a great way to feel stronger and leaner with more energy. And as Frank says, she'll like it too.
I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
Just send a text. Text BELT to 231231 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text BELT to 231231. That's BELT to 231231. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Orlando Magic Pod Squad is the Orlando Magic's flagship podcast, featuring interviews with Magic players, coaches, executives, and legends. Join me, Dante Marcatelli, along with a rotating cast of Magic personalities every Thursday during the season as we conduct deep dive interviews with Magic A-listers. This podcast is a must-listen for any Orlando Magic fan. Join the squad with the Orlando Magic Pod Squad on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-254-5751. 800-254-5751. Again, that's 800-254-5751. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
Hey, you don't live here.
Protect your little ones and their furry best friends by securing your home with a fence from FenceOutlet.com. A great-looking fence beautifies your home and keeps it safe. Get your free quote today at FenceOutlet.com.
iHeartRadio celebrates the Tony Awards Sunday, June 16 on iHeartRadio Broadway, the greatest songs of musical theater.
Alexander Hamilton.
Go backstage with Broadway's biggest stars. Hear the stories behind the shows and commercial-free Broadway hits 24/7. Plus, check out exclusive interviews with this year's Tony Awards nominees. iHeartRadio Broadway, one of over 100 commercial-free stations on the iHeart app. Just search iHeartRadio Broadway and start listening.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
ESPN going to fire one of their hosts for some of these Caitlin Clark comments. There's something to talk about there that we'll talk about in just a moment. But I wanted to address this real quick. I want to see if this is like, every once in a while I'm like, is this just my algorithm? Or is everybody seeing this right now? And I don't know how much you guys are on Twitter anymore or X or whatever you want to call it. But have you run into any of the people who are fighting back and forth about the ride Splash Mountain? Have you seen any of this?
No.
I have not seen any Discord online. I have seen the headlines talking about them.
So much of this that I've seen in the past
want
week.
racism back.
And there's people who, so just for the record, the old Splash Mountain ride at Disney was based on A Song of the South, which is a really old cartoon that was controversial and like kind of buried by Disney. But a lot of people loved the ride. They were really into it. And it's a classic ride. And when you try to change classic rides, people kind of lose their minds a little bit. It's like people are really into this stuff. For you folks shaking your head, this is just a strange, different world where people find this stuff to be really important. And after a very long time, they decided we're going to take Splash Mountain and we're going to update it for the modern generation. And they updated it to Tiana from Princess and the Frog, I think, was the cartoon that she was behind, which is a more recent version of Disney IP.
Haven't seen it.
Certainly more relevant to like young kids. I don't think young kids know what Song of the South is. I don't think most people have seen Song of the South. And
is
when they
Song
read
of the
it,
South zippity doo dah?
I believe
I think so. Right. And I think that was the controversy because they were like, look, these people weren't completely free. And then they were like, so happy in the Song of the South. And so the portrayal of happy black people, whatever, that's where the controversy came from. But that's neither here nor there. So they changed the ride from Splash Mountain to the Princess and the Frog version. And I see like a side-by-side that somebody made of the ride before and after. And I want to be the only one to say this, but it's not really that different, okay? The ride does exactly the same thing. The same drops happen at the same time. The fall at the end is exactly the same. The only thing that's different is the stuff on the side of the ride as you're going through. It's like a refurbishment, basically. And it looks nice. I mean, it looks fine. It's a freaking ride. I don't know why anybody would take issue with this. But I'm seeing all these people fighting about this and arguing back and forth. And they're like, it's a ride at a theme park. I do not understand why anybody would give more than 5 seconds of not even 5 seconds of their time to argue about things like this. Really, really weird to me. And if anybody else is seeing that, let me know if that's in your feed as well. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch. All right.
The crazy part is that some of these YouTube videos analyzing the before and after footage are like 22 minutes long. And it's like the ride's not even that long.
No, it's not. It's a short little ride. And it's like, what is the big deal here? You feel like you were wronged in some truly important way? You can't take this? And maybe you're one of these people. If you are, I'd love to hear what the real problem is, what you're so upset about, if you are indeed upset about this. Just a ride. Christina on Twitch says, people love to argue, Sean. I swear people will argue anything with strangers just for the sake to be a dick. Well, this is true, and Twitter is a place for fighting. That's what it's for. But this seems to be like a weirder
porn,
thing.
Apparently.
Yes. Yeah, now as of this week, about adult content as well. So we'll get into that a little bit later and see what's going to happen with the future of that. But now on Monday's ESPN show called Pat McAfee, which I haven't seen much of, but it seems like a bunch of dude bros talking sports.
And the guy who's like constantly standing up.
He doesn't like to sit down for his broadcasts. He's constantly up, and I think it's one of those things where it's like, we're going to do broadcasting different. And you're like, are you really? What are you doing? You're not really doing anything different. You're just shouting in a different way. It's like you've got a wireless mic that sounds like crap as you're doing a PowerPoint on an ESPN show. Nothing against the guy. I don't think he's like a bad broadcaster or anything.
There was something that happened on his show recently that he had to... Oh, was it a Kelsey thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that it?
Wait. He had Aaron Rodgers on, and
that's what it was.
He was getting heat for having Aaron Rodgers on for a while, and he was doubling and tripling down
that
on
was the Jimmy Kimmel thing.
Yeah, and then Aaron Rodgers said the thing about Jimmy Kimmel, which was really dumb legally speaking, and they had to back off of that. And other than that and this, I really don't know all that much about the guy. He seems to be doing well for himself. But he said something about Caitlin Clark because of all this controversy going on in the WNBA. Good for the WNBA. There's been more talk in the past 2 months than the last 20 years about the WNBA. Good for the WNBA. This is what's supposed to happen when you got something going on. There's supposed to be people talking about what you have. Even if it's drama, it doesn't matter. Drama brings eyeballs. Drama brings people into the arena. And Caitlin Clark brings people into the arena. The numbers on her, crazy. Before we get to his comments, check this out. I saw that they posted this. In 2023, home attendance for the Fever, the team that Caitlin Clark plays for, total home attendance for the full year was 81,336 people. In the first 5 home games, they have 82,857. So
nice. Good for her.
Already swamped attendance for last year. If she's playing in a game, there's usually about 10,000 more people there. The other WNBA games might have 6,000 or 7,000 people, maybe 8,000 people. When she's there, it's 15,000, 17,000 people. So there's some eyeballs on this. This is the best thing that's happened in the history of the WNBA. And it's finally drawing some people to the sport. I don't know why people always have to focus on this, like, oh, my God, all the bad stuff that's happening. If I was behind the scenes running the WNBA, I'd be like, this is great. So here he is talking about this.
The GOAT. Is she what? I don't know. With my eyes, I couldn't see if she's Caucasian or not. So I think what we're trying to say is...
I don't know.
This is how he does his show?
Yeah, well, that's how he does this one.
So weird.
They're like, we're going to make it look like TMZ, where everyone's just staring at me and we're talking in the office.
This move is typical Gen Z YouTuber. Is holding the wireless mic. Like, so the biggest YouTubers, your Danny Gonzalez, your Drew Gooden, all these kind of guys with huge YouTube followings, they're very nonchalant. They're just like kind of talking into a wireless mic a lot of times, especially Danny Gonzalez has done that.
Holding a wireless mic that's supposed to be worn?
Yes, a lot of times.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's just a stylistic thing. It's supposed to be like, oh, this is just natural, not really putting super high amount of effort into this. So maybe he's channeling that.
He's what we like to describe as a cash cow. There is a superstar. And we're not saying that the players on the court need to act any differently. That's the athletes are going to do what athletes are going to do in any sport. And I think we're all learning that WNBA, that's old school football, baby.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no. How many people are on this show? There's a good half dozen around him right now, and I think there's more out of this shot right now.
The audio's awful. I can't stand it.
It doesn't sound good.
That is old school football. But I would like the media people that continue to say, this rookie class, this rookie class, this rookie class. Nah. Just call it for what it is. There's one white bitch for the Indiana team who is a superstar. And is it because she's...
So he said there's one white bitch on the Indiana team that's bringing in all this attention, which is not untrue, except for the white bitch part. And the reason why he said white bitch was I think he was getting at some of her detractors, but that...
I mean, come on.
No, I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm saying I think that's what he was trying to go for, but it's not going to make sense for somebody who doesn't know what the hell is going on your show. It's going to look like you just called her a white bitch. Because you did. That seems weird. Even though he's like, think about this. Add a little context, keep your mind open. He's complimenting her here. All of these are huge compliments. He's a huge fan of her. So he's not trying to say this as an insult to her. But how else is it going to come off to somebody who's getting a clip of this where you're just like, there's one white bitch and you're pointing at the screen?
If he had said bad bitch,
I think that would be a little bit different. Yeah.
But it would have been less bad.
Someone like that, like, it's just such it leaves such a bad taste. Like, it's so ick when you have, in this day and age, as of late, anyone like that, a straight white male, just like calling a woman a bitch. It just does not, whatever the excuse or the reasoning behind it, it does not come off well.
What does being straight have to do with it?
Because I think that women can call each other bitches and it comes off completely different than this guy doing it on his stupid microphone that he's holding.
So women can call women bitches. Who else can call women bitches? Would y'all want to go down the list if we can?
I don't have a list in front of me, Sean.
Okay,
I don't. What
straight white males are not on the list, though.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Like,
straight black males? Are straight black males on the list?
But straight males? I'm not trying to like put you in a corner here. You're going to be okay. I'm just saying that it comes off poorly.
I'm not in a corner. What are you talking about?
It comes off poorly. That's it. Like there's a giant ick attached to anybody calling a woman a bitch nowadays. Like,
right.
That's just it.
Okay, I think we're back on track now in an agreement. It's when straight white male gets tossed out there and you're like, those are the only people that aren't allowed to say this? Or is this like a larger rule across men? Or when you draw that line in the sand, it seems a little more strange.
All day Yuckers called him Roseanne McAfee.
He's not going to get fired, by the way. I know the USA Today article was like, this is enough. It says, How does ESPN keep airing Pat McAfee after ugly Caitlin Clark rant? And they go on this long, long article about how this is unacceptable.
Why you calling her ugly?
And how you can't, how you can't say this kind of stuff. McAfee later apologized. He said, I shouldn't have used white bitch as a descriptor of Caitlin Clark. No matter the context, even if we're talking about race being a reason for some of the stuff happening, I have way too much respect for her and women to put that out into the universe. Amy on YouTube says, no one should be saying it. It seemed weird. I don't know if somebody said tone deaf. I think maybe I saw tone deaf in the chat, or that's what's come to mind. That seems more like it to me. But I'll still say that all of this is good for the WNBA, all the drama, the kind of there's a reason why WWE is so successful, because you have all this kind of drama and all these characters and all these like story arcs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And if you had that going on before this in the WNBA, normies like me who aren't really focused on it didn't know that. I didn't know that that was a thing. And now I'm at least paying a little bit of an interest in it. And I think if I was out somewhere, like let's say I was out at a bar and it was on television, I've gone from 0% interest in looking up at the TV and seeing what's going on with the WNBA game to maybe like 40. That's a pretty big jump.
My streaming apps are trying to suggest that I give it a shot.
Are they?
I forget which one. Is it Apple that has it, or
I don't remember. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
one of the ones that I use semi-regularly has been like, we got WNBA games.
Yeah, I know there's still a lot of guys that are like, I still don't watch that crap. But with the drama, just being somebody who's not a super sports fan, I've at least piqued my interest in some way. All right, when we come back, we'll get to you. We'll see what you have on your mind with your dispatches. We'll start working those in. And the Stingray that got pregnant when there was no other Stingrays in the tank. What is going on with this? We're going to find out together next. That is coming up next in the News Junkie.
All aboard for Real Yacht Rock Weekends. Every weekend this summer on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Hey there, here's your midday weather update on Fox 35. Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner, and we are on track for a warm afternoon. Our high temperature today in Orlando, 93 degrees. There will be some clouds out toward the west and even a couple of showers possible, maybe a storm this evening, but for Orlando remaining mainly dry today. Tomorrow, though, a different story. We're going to warm up into the mid-90s, and there's a 50 to 60% chance for some late-day storms. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing Equipment.
Grab great gearhead gifts your dad will love, like tools, parts, and collectibles, or give the perfect card, a Summit Racing gift card. Shop summitracing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends June 23rd, 2024.
You know, you can't drive around any neighborhood right now and avoid seeing some of the AC trucks that are out there in front of houses. There's a lot of people who are having issues with the heat and trying to keep their home cool. Your AC is working overtime right now. Make sure that everything is running as it should. Preventative maintenance from Mills Air. This is the way to do things. It saves you money. It can detect an upcoming breakdown before it happens and be something that's very valuable and gives you great peace of mind. I'll give you their phone number in a second so you can call to get preventative maintenance set up in your home with your AC. They'll switch out the filters on things. They'll clean out all the lines. All this stuff that you forget to do or don't know how to do, leave it up to the awesome techs at Mills Air. They've been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years, and they're a Carrier Factory authorized dealer. They can get you big rebates up to $1,275 for a brand new Carrier unit. You see, you can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to Mills Air. Give them a call for that preventative maintenance, 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
4th cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
But I got my hair cut last Thursday, and the beautician, she said there's some hair growing in. She said the hair is so soft. She said that'll keep it from breaking off, and that'll do a wonder of good. So she was very impressed. So am I. My hair's never felt better. It's so soft, and I think it's even getting a little color to it again. You have a great product.
Fantastic results, Dale. Harem has shown to absolutely regrow hair and get it back to its original color. Ladies, guys, if you're like me, you've probably tried other hair products, but I've never found a hair growth product as effective as Harem. Its natural botanical serum treats receding hairlines, the crown of the head, and thinning hair. No harsh chemicals, no negative side effects, just naturally healthy hair. So go to greatlifenow.com to see how you can get a free bottle of Harem. Go to greatlifenow.com. greatlifenow.com.
iHeartRadio Broadway celebrates this year's Tony Awards Sunday, June 16th, and takes you backstage with Broadway's biggest stars and commercial-free Broadway hits 24/7. Popular. Just search iHeartRadio Broadway on the iHeartRadio app and start listening.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Walt Disney World Resort is hiring. Explore a variety of full-time and part-time roles at the heart of the magic and enjoy great benefits like complimentary theme park admission, exclusive discounts, and more. Apply today at waltdisneyworld.jobs.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by the Franchise Show June 8th and 9th at Orange County Convention Center. OrlandoFranchiseShow.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Radio 104.1. On a constant quest to stay calm, like that bear in the hammock.
Been following this, chronicling this, wondering what the answer to the mystery is. How did this stingray at this North Carolina aquarium end up pregnant? Because there was no other stingray in the tank with it. It was just a female stingray. And they said it ended up pregnant. Only other thing in the tank was like a shark or something, which that seems crazy. If we're doing a little crossbreeding, we got shark stingrays that are going to come out the other end of this thing. Perhaps we should be preparing. But now we've got an update. We know what is happening. We know what is going on. And it's maybe the saddest possible outcome.
Okay, great.
just go.
What we needed.
I'm going to shoot you straight here. says, in a sad update to the mystery of the stingray in a North Carolina aquarium that some speculated had been impregnated by a shark, aquarium officials have now announced the stingray actually has a rare ailment. Lab testing and other data, including the fact that the ray never gave birth as predicted, revealed the stingray was never pregnant but has an illness. They haven't determined a specific diagnosis that negatively impacted her reproductive system, and they're working on a treatment plan, so they don't know what.
Didn't they do an ultrasound? Like,
I think they did.
How did they just now determine this?
They looked at this animal, and I believe they did an ultrasound, and they saw what they thought were little baby stingrays inside this thing. But now they're saying it's like some other medical problem and not actually stingrays, which I guess maybe they look the same. It looks like the animal's pregnant, but it's not. It's not actually. So I was like, that's the worst outcome. We wanted cool.
I thought it was going to be Jesus as a stingray shark.
Shark stingrays would have been cool. It would have been cool if it just like miraculously asexually reproduced and made some babies. Like all of these things would have been cool, but this, not necessarily the best outcome. However, it is just the way that it went down. Before we get to your dispatches, speaking of arguments on social media, since there are so many this week,
Facebook, Instagram,
how about
Twitter,
this
y'all
one?
see this?
A woman, and she's a psychologist, right? She says she's got a pretty spicy take on something that all of us have to deal with. And she says, when I go to the grocery store, I do not return my shopping cart. And she said, I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay.
She said, I'm not a bad person, and the idea that anybody would expect me to is out of line. And here's why, all right?
Because people have the jobs?
No, it's not like this is what keeps them employed. It's not like that's somebody else's job to do this. That's what normally you hear for this argument. Here's her argument. C-Lane, tell me where you land on this, okay? Mm-hmm. So the psychologist says, I go into the grocery store. I lug my 2 little kids in there with me. I go all around and I do all the shopping in the grocery store.
All right, pause. Does any of this, like, does the fact that she's a psychologist matter to any of this? Or we're just naming her occupation and people are putting more weight into her opinion because she's a psychologist?
Yes, yeah, the latter.
All
yeah,
right,
basically.
so a woman, a mother.
So a mother went into a grocery store. She says, when I go in, I put my kids in the cart. I'm struggling to go all around the store. I get all the things that I need. I try to check out. You know, I'm doing this all by myself. Then I go to my car. I unload all of the grocery bags, and I buckle my kids into the car. And she goes, do you think I'm going to leave my kids buckled into the car and roll a shopping cart away to put it up? I'm not leaving my kids in the car alone like that, and I'm not wandering away from them. And she says, I'm not putting the shopping cart back.
You know what? If you're that paranoid of a parent,
mm-hmm.
and or your vehicle doesn't have things in place to facilitate doing both, then you know what? You've made your argument.
Instacart.
Nobody's gonna change your mind. You shouldn't have to Instacart.
But imagine you're all by yourself and you got Jackson.
I do it all the time.
You put him in the car, and then you got the car, and the cart return is like 50 yards away or something. You know, it's like pretty far across the parking lot. You're at the worst spot. It's hard to get over to where that is. It would be kind of weird. I guess you could say you should take your kid out again and put the kid in the cart and then roll the cart over and then take your kid back to the car. But
maybe
I could
utilize,
see where,
because is it for the most part, there's an offer to help you with your groceries?
yes, usually. Well, at some grocery stores, at least the one I go to, they ask that sometimes, which I never take because I always feel weird about
Never
that.
do it.
It always feels strange. I'm like, I got this.
They're
Don't worry
not
about
allowed
it.
to tip them, and it's all weird.
And I return the cart every time. I go over, Courtney will be done putting stuff in the car, and I'll say, all right, let me roll it over there and return the shopping cart. But if you had a bunch of kids, this would be different. Laundry Day Blues on YouTube says, I have 7 kids. I return the cart every time, either to the corral or to the store. When my kids were little, I unloaded the groceries and then brought the kids to the corral and then walked them back, which is what we were talking about earlier.
Or I parked my cart return, unloaded them into the car, locked it, and returned the cart, then got in the car.
When you lock it, are you turning the AC on in your car? Because it's hot as hell nowadays.
In my car, yes. I can have the car on with the door locked, with the AC on, and some people disagree with that, but if you want me to take the cart back, that's how I got to do it.
Yeah, you're going to have to. You're not going to, even for 40 seconds or something, you wouldn't want your kids sitting in like a super, super hot car on the hottest of summer days.
Now, riddle me this. You're in that situation where you're not putting the cart back, all right, because of the children and the hot car and not leaving them by themselves.
Yeah.
There is a major difference between leaving the cart in a place that is like maybe on a median or in a spot where you're not taking over a complete parking spot.
Oh, no question. Yeah, there would be no excuse for that.
Or damaging someone else's car. So it's like, I hear this, though, and I'm wondering, are you that person, though, that makes it impossible for another person to park or leave or anything like that?
There's no excuse for leaving the cart out in a place where you're blocking somebody else from parking or doing anything like that. You could still find a spot, like you said, on like a curb or whatever, a median, and put it up there, and somebody will see it later and go get it. But I do get the idea. I do understand that is a little bit strange if you're like a single mom with a couple of kids, and damn, is that a hard job, you know? So I've seen a single mom every once in a while with like 3 kids under 5, and I go, Jesus.
Why'd you do that to yourself?
How are you doing this right now? Arnott says, dumb AF to leave your kid in the cart. What if something happens to you while returning the cart?
Another cart?
You can't.
You can't plan for that necessarily.
Yeah.
It's too small. It's like, what if you got struck by lightning? It's probably not going to happen. They're going to get injured. But I do get the idea of not wanting. And these are like, maybe some people will think it's overbearing parenting, where I can't leave my kids for 1 second. Because I know if I go back, my dad sure as hell would have left me in that car without the AC on.
Oh, yeah.
He could have ran into his friend from work and be like, oh, hey, how you doing, Chuck? You know, caught up with somebody, and like, I'm melting away in the car. He'd be like, you'll be fine. Everything will be fine.
Scanning the text service, it says if you use remote start, you can lock the car, but start it so the AC is on. No one can steal it. That's
safe. That sounds
more
safe.
or less safe and true.
But only true for people who have like nicer, newer cars.
Somebody says it's against Florida law to leave a child in the car running unattended. That is also true.
Is it?
It's true. I don't necessarily agree with the law, but it is true. You're not supposed to do it.
So the moment you walk away from your car, you have to like. You think someone's going to immediately call the cops on you, and you won't be back in time?
I guess what they're saying is somebody could. Like
somebody
they could do
by
that.
the time they call the cops, you're back at your car. It should be a 30-second process.
I get if you see 2 kids in the sweltering heat with the windows up and they're incredibly uncomfortable inside the car and you want to do something about it. But if you see C-Lane walk away from his car to return the cart and you're calling the cops on that, that's unbelievable. That's really a law, though, huh?
Yeah. I mean, because we've discussed this, too, because the idea that Tesla pushed out to all their vehicles this really cool dog feature that where it will turn on the AC for your dog. It will display something on the screen that said, don't worry about me. It's this many degrees in this car. Everything's cool. Is all good and fun, except it's still illegal in some states just because of the way, the laws weren't written for cars that drive themselves.
Or for cars to have AC on while you're stepping away for a second or two.
And that won't drive if the key fob is not in the vehicle. Most of most of these rules weren't written with those cars in mind. So yes, the texter that says it's against the law to leave a child in a car running unattended is right. But the person who said it's weird to walk away from the car with your kid in it no matter what is also right. It feels weird.
It feels strange to step away from a child.
Not saying I don't do it, but it feels weird.
All right, what do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. When we come back, remember that dude who attended his hearing via Zoom and he was in his car, but the judge was like, this is a hearing for a suspended license.
Yeah, he told him to report to jail, right?
Said, yeah, come to jail. What are you up to, man? What the hell's going on here? There's a big twist in that case, and it's really turned out to be an interesting story. I'll give you the update. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
It's like a text message with your voice. The TalkBack feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Traveling on I-40, you can expect your regular delays between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. Around the perimeter of I-4, no major problems on State Road 429, and it's pretty mellow on the Greenway. There's intersection backups where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway, and multiple lanes are blocked in both directions where Oklahoma Street meets Florida Avenue. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by J. David Tax Law.
If you owe the IRS and can't pay, now is the time to call J. David Tax Law. The IRS has resumed their aggressive collections. Don't wait. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Orlando, or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Summer starts early here in Florida, which means we get more beach time, more sunshine, and more time to enjoy refreshing, sweet, and juicy fresh from Florida watermelon. The best part of summer is already here. Find locally grown Florida watermelon where you shop. Just look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name. Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
You met with the stable boy despite your father's orders. He hoisted you onto the saddle and you wrapped your arms around him, embracing his silent strength. He lay you down amongst the wildflowers. You experienced love like never before. While you were buying dish soap. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover heart-stopping romance titles on Audible.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk, too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
If you own a timeshare, these are scary times. From the timeshare companies that have perfected the high-pressure sales tactics to the endless pop-up exit companies that are often just as bad as the timeshare companies. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Since 2011, our mission at Wesley has been to change the timeshare industry by educating folks and helping them get out of their timeshare. Our proven process has helped over 40,000 timeshare owners get out of their timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results have made us an industry leader. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free, exposing the tricks of the timeshare industry and how we get folks out of their timeshare.
For your free info kit, call 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Orlando Magic Pod Squad is the Orlando Magic's flagship podcast, featuring interviews with Magic players, coaches, executives, and legends. Join me, Dante Marcatelli, along with the rotating cast of Magic personalities every Thursday during the season as we conduct deep dive interviews with Magic A-listers. This podcast is a must-listen for any Orlando Magic fan. Join the squad with the Orlando Magic Pod Squad on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will.
When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Said finally, we're not maximizing our time and making all the money we could be making.
What mindset?
The Sigma grind set, not the mindset. Yeah, we got to get out there and grind. We got to make our money. People are doing it, and we're leaving all the cash on the table. And one guy that I've seen, and you will either view this guy in one of 2 categories, and I guarantee you the two of you will put him in one of the 2 following categories. Either this is genius, and this is a sweet hack, or this man should go to jail. Okay, so there's only 2 categories. Wow. I think you could really put this guy in. Here's what he does. Here's his gimmick, and then you tell me whether you think hack or crime. All right,
hack or crime.
That's what we'll go with today. Hack or crime. So the guy goes to the hotel, and he goes up to the front desk, and he goes, "I'm going to need a couple rolls of toilet paper, the good stuff, you know, the Cottonelle. Give me that, please." And they go, "Oh, sorry, sir, sorry." And they scramble back to where their supply closet is, and they get 2 things of the premium toilet paper, and they hand it to this gentleman. He goes, "Thank you very much," and he leaves the place and walks out of there. Thing is, he is not a guest of this hotel. He doesn't have a room there, and he goes, "I didn't steal anything. I said, can you get me some toilet paper?" And the person got me toilet paper. And technically, I've just found a loophole. Yeah, they're just because their system sucks doesn't mean I should have to change what I'm doing. And he'll go in and be like, "We're going to need a couple more towels." And they'll go, "Oh, sorry, sir, sorry. You know, I'm sorry that your room was not well prepared," or whatever. And they'll go away, and they'll get the towels and bring them back to him. And then he'll just leave and get in his car in the parking lot and drive out of there. And the guy resells stuff or just uses it as so he doesn't have to buy. his own stuff. And
I mean, you could call it a social experiment. You know, he's auditing the system here.
I wonder, honestly.
Kind of sucks. I mean, they're just trying to do their best.
I'd like to talk to Mo, though, about, like, would that be a crime? Since technically you're just asking. You're not like, you didn't take it yourself. You just said, can I get this thing? Can you get me some more towels? Can you give me some more toilet paper? And they go to do it. Jason on YouTube says, that's not a crime. He asked. It's like a weird space, right? Because, like, they think he's at the hotel, and clearly he's not. And if they knew he wasn't, they probably wouldn't be giving him the stuff that they're giving him. I don't know. Tell us what you think about that. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now.
I feel like, and maybe this is the reason, anymore, they hardly hand anything over the counter to you. They're like, we'll have it brought up to your room.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What room are you in? Because then you got to answer questions, and then they know it's going to somebody who's actually staying at the hotel. All right, over to this guy that we talked about the other day. And honestly, everybody had a good laugh at his expense. He's a guy from Michigan, and his name is Corey Harris. And I don't know anything about Corey Harris in terms of vouching for him. I don't know if he's a good guy, bad guy. He's got some stuff that is a little bit bad on his record here. But everybody laughed because he was on a Zoom hearing, and he was driving in his car, and the judge goes, what the hell are you doing? This is about a hearing about you having a suspended license. And he said, report straight to jail. You know, don't pass go, don't collect $200. Now we learned a little bit more about this.
They said the Michigan $200?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. The Michigan man who was caught driving while attending a Zoom court hearing over his suspended license says he was mortified by the incident, yet he should not have been sent to jail over it. In a recent interview, Corey Harris admitted he was very embarrassed during the virtual hearing with Judge J. Cedric Simpson because he has strong ties with his local church and community in Ann Arbor. While on the recorded Zoom call, Harris was seen driving to a doctor's office with his license suspended as a stunned judge revoked his bond on the spot and ordered him to county jail. Last week, a video of the court hearing went viral as Harris spent 2 days behind bars before getting released. He said he was only thinking about getting his wife medical help at the doctor's office. I wasn't thinking about the fact that I got a suspended license. I don't care about all of that. So the first thing that's entering the equation, we already knew that he was going to the doctor's office, but he said it was taking his wife to the doctor. He's claimed his driver's license should not have been suspended in the first place. He said there was an error on Saginaw front of the court. The court should have lifted the suspension 2 years ago. And it was one of those things where in the judicial system, one outlet said, okay, we're going to overturn this and we're going to reverse the suspension on your driver's license, but they didn't actually push through the documents that they were supposed to, and the state didn't know what was going on. So technically his driver's license wasn't supposed to be suspended at that time. And
that went super viral.
And the guy, I don't think he had enough time to like explain it to the judge.
Yeah,
and the judge.
The one thumbnail is his shocked AF face.
Yeah, he's just like reacting.
He had plenty of time. That video seemed long enough that he could have said something.
I don't know. Do they mute you when you're on those calls, or maybe he could have said something? But he says that they reversed this 2 years ago, but it didn't go all the way through, and he's got to get them to fix that. Maybe the judge still would have said, well, until they fix it, you're still not supposed to.
It's kind of what I would assume.
Yeah, like even if it's a paperwork issue, you're still not supposed to. We're going to hear from you, your dispatches. Here's what we got so far. Here is I'm a PC with a dispatch for us.
Officer, I did not buy any drugs. I just asked for them, and they gave them to me.
No.
So, technically, I did not purchase them.
Don't try that. That's not going to work for you. I don't even think this is going to work for you. I think this will be bad, but we'll see. We'll talk to Mo about that later. Here's Dingo.
What up, News Junkie? Dingo here. Real quick about the shopping carts. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I will say that I probably understand how these young people are thinking that work at the store. Going out in that parking lot to pick up all the carts, probably not a bad time to check your social media or hit that vape. I'm not trying to blow anybody's cover, but boo!
No, don't do that to these poor kids working at the grocery store who just want to hit the vape, hit the Blinkerton one time.
I've never noticed any of them vaping.
Not at the places I go. They haven't been doing that. They go out there and they get together a line that is far too long of shopping carts.
Yeah.
There's like 50 or 60
I
of
don't
them.
understand why some stores find the analog way. Well, they're all analog, but the traditional way of lining up that many shopping carts and doing it that way is fine. And then other stores like Walmart have those little, like these little buggies, those little buggy mobiles that you put at the end of that does the pushing for you.
That's better. I would rather have that if I was out there working in the hot sun. Here's Man Kicking talking about the cart return lady.
I'm going to follow this lady to Aldi's and get a free quarter. Oh, yeah.
Well, if you
make bank.
If you find somebody who hasn't brought their grocery cart back, I guess at Aldi's, they give you money.
No, you have to stick a quarter in the grocery cart to unlock it from the other grocery carts. And then when you bring your cart back and you lock it to the other ones, your quarter pops back out.
That ain't bad, though. That's good. It's a smart way to take advantage of that, at least. Here's D. Browning talking about Pat McAfee.
What's up, junkies? Dave here. It's kind of interesting that you mentioned the WWE joining your Pat McAfee WNBA thing because he actually was one of the announcers for both nights of WrestleMania this year.
Oh, really?
So he is a WWE figure.
Yeah.
So talk to you later,
it surprises me about 0% based on what I've seen from this guy. Again, I got nothing against him. He's doing his thing. He seems to kind of split sports fans. Like they either really dig that style and it's like a bunch of friends sitting around. He's not the one who came up with that, as far as I know, either. This like relaxed style and just a bunch
Sabrina kind of hit the nail on the head when she compared it to TMZ, which I don't love that show.
TMZ or like Barstool, a lot of their shows are kind of like this. It's like, oh, when we're just hanging around, just having a hang, and everybody's doing the show together. That's sort of the vibe that it puts off for me.
Somebody said that the guy was doing a bit where he walks around, and he doesn't do that the whole time.
I've seen him do it before. I've seen him move around or not sit down, like Sabrina was saying.
Somebody says, if you don't watch show, not the show, if you don't watch show, then how do you make dumb comments? He doesn't always hold a mic. He was doing a bit.
He always is either in some state of not quite sitting down for broadcast, okay? Whether that's moving around or like standing up and screaming into his mic, he seems to want to do that. I don't know if he's got ADHD or something else is kicking in and he just can't seem to stay still in the spot.
And then plenty of people seem to just skip over the part where we knew that he used the term white bitch because somebody called her that.
This is what I was talking
we
about
got
yesterday.
That part.
I'm so over this. I'm so over responding to people who are half listening to things. If you don't get the context that was so clearly there, so well laid out, like obvious, here's what we said, here's what's going on. I clearly said, I know what he was trying to do. I know why he was trying to say that. But you have to, as a broadcaster in 2024, also consider what will happen with things like that. It can happen to me, certainly, with a lot of the stuff that I say. But if you say something like that and it needs context to make sense and somebody clips it and it goes viral online, a lot of people are going to get a very bad opinion of you based on what you've done. So it's something you have to consider.
Versus impact.
Right. It's something that people are going to have to consider in 2024 in the media landscape that we have.
It's not that
certainly,
hard.
I am all impact, baby.
Yeah.
All impact. Let's go.
All right, let's do one more real quick. Here's Daddy 2 times.
So right after my daughter turned 12, I go to Walmart one day with her and my 9-year-old son. I leave them in the car because they didn't want to come in. Leave the car on, windows up, AC going. Both of them have their cell phones. I'm in the store for not even 10 minutes, and a cop comes in looking for me or, the owner of that car with the kids in it outside because someone decided to call the police because they came up to my vehicle. My kids ducked down in the back seat because some stranger was peering in the windows. And then that stranger became concerned, called the police. Long story short, the kids were good in there alone because of their age, because of their coherency and ability to use a cell phone and reach out if there were danger.
That makes sense,
the police
too.
Basically told me if they were a bit younger, then it would have been an issue.
Yeah, and like infants and stuff is handled a totally different way, just as I would do it myself a different way. But when you have a kid who's like 6 or 7 or 8, I don't want to be back in my day here again. But my dad definitely left me in a hot car while he went to get some brake pads in the auto parts store or something.
Yeah, that's our generation.
And
They're the survivors of such, but could never really happen again at this point.
If we're talking about bringing the car back, it wasn't a matter of me getting left in the car for the car to be brought back. It was, I want to stay in the car. You're going to bring the car back.
Yeah, you didn't want to get out. You didn't want. Yeah, I mean, not for that probably. All right, we'll see what you have going on in your world. Send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and fire off a dispatch.
I think you misheard that. I had to bring the cart back.
Oh, you as a kid had to go do it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought your mom was bringing the car back.
No.
And you were like, I'm not going with you.
No.
Oh, they use this for labor far more than they do now, I think.
Probably.
I think kids, I think there's less of chores and stuff these days. I have nothing to base that off of except for my gut. So parents, if you want to shoot me straight on this and tell me I'm wrong, that's fine. That's what dispatches are for.
The spectrum of parenting is so wide. There's going to be plenty of parents who are going to say you're wrong, and there's going to be a couple who go, yeah.
I'm saying in general, generally speaking, I feel like kids don't have as many chores maybe as they used to. It just feels that way. I get that feeling. Again, I don't have facts behind it, but that's my hunch at least. So let me know, parents, if I'm wrong about that. Love this story. We're going to get into it next. A remote Brazilian tribe was given the internet. What happened next is just really magnifique. We'll tell you that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Later today on the Jim Colbert Show, we'll get a review of the Rolling Stones concert from our boy Jack. Plus, we'll learn a little bit about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. That's Deb's pick for what to do that's new. Then we'll get some money tips with financial advisor Scott Brown. And the winner of JCS Trivia today will get tickets to see Santana and the Counting Crows. Plus, your calls, text, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show. Today at 3 p.m. on Real Radio 104.1.
Traveling on I-4, you can expect delays between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535 through the city, between State Road 408 and Ivanhoe Boulevard, slowdowns on Lee Road by the interstate, and delays on the beach line eastbound between Orange Blossom Trail and Sand Lake Road. If you see any other traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Nasal Guard. People who suffer from allergies use Nasal Guard to prevent them. Nasal Guard's innovative gel and spray products protect you from all airborne allergens, no matter what the forecast holds. Visit Amazon, Walmart, or NasalGuard.com today. Breathe better this spring. NasalGuard.com.
Did you know that Mortgage Guy Don has the best rates when it comes to commercial loans, SBA loans, and business lines of credit? If you have a high interest rate SBA loan at 9, 10, maybe 11%, if you qualify and have paid on time for the past 2 years, that Mortgage Guy Don can refinance your SBA loan at an 8.25% fixed rate. Do you need a loan to buy a franchise? Go to thatmortgageguyDon.com to start the process. Do you want to build or expand your business? That Mortgage Guy Don is the man to go to when it comes to commercial loans. Peace of mind right there at your fingertips by going to, you guessed it, thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
A weekend full of superstar performances this September.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 14th.
But starting June 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
Attention soccer fans, get
ready for an exciting matchup with one of the world's best in the second annual Allstate Continental Classico. Join us on June 12th at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida for an unforgettable showdown between your U.S. men's national team and Brazil. This match is not just a game, it's a vital part of the USA's preparations for the 2024 Copa America. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at ussoccer.com/tickets.
Hey, Russ Rollins here. You know, I've been on the air for over 30 years with headphones on, and I've had them way too loud. And that's why I like MD Hearing. They've made these new Neo rechargeable digital hearing aids, and nobody can actually see them. They fit in your ear. Get the hearing you deserve with MD Hearing. Go to shopmdhearing.com and use promo code RUSS and get their new $297 when you buy a pair offer. Plus, they're adding a free extra charging case. It's a $100 value. So that's mdhearing.com and use the promo code RUSS and get their new $297 when you buy a pair offer.
Here's what real Fence Outlet customers say about their experience. Brian said,
"Our family purchased our forever home a year and a half ago. After the closing date, we listed several things we desired to upgrade to make this house a home. One was the old, dilapidated wooden fence that was enclosing our backyard. We asked around for fence companies in our area. Fence Outlet was recommended more than any other. We sought out a quote online, received the blessing of Stephanie, got approved for financing, received the spectacular, clean look we were after in our brand new vinyl fence. Thank you, Fence Outlet. Our family will gladly recommend you to all."
See for yourself. Go to fenceoutlet.com to schedule your free estimate today.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is having a one-day factory sale this Saturday only in our factory showroom. 40% off energy-efficient windows and patio doors. One day only, this Saturday from 9 till 4. Please visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Tommy Mello here, owner of A1 Garage Door Service. Springtime savings are here, and now is the perfect time to service your garage. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. As the weather starts to warm up, keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
iHeartRadio celebrates the Tony Awards Sunday, June 16 on iHeartRadio Broadway, the greatest songs of musical theater.
Alexander Hamilton.
Go backstage with Broadway's biggest stars. Hear the stories behind the shows and commercial-free Broadway hits 24/7. Plus, check out exclusive interviews with this year's Tony Awards nominees. iHeartRadio Broadway, one of over 100 commercial-free stations on the iHeart app. Just search iHeartRadio Broadway and start listening.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
That are not online these days. It's really exploded over the last 30 years or
Thanks,
so.
Elon.
A lot of access out there, including from Elon's satellite internet stuff, which I guess is getting better and faster. And there's going to be even more options moving forward. So there's like so few people, like the continent of Africa is just lighting up. A lot of people who are connected to the online world, for better or for worse. I think mostly it's for better because you can educate yourself if you have online access, and you can set yourself up for a little bit more of a successful life if you can do that. you're not so stuck as you might be if you get spawned in a place that's not ideal. So they said there's leaders of a remote tribe in the Amazon forest that now have the internet. They decided to give these folks the internet. Nobody thought about whether or not this was a good idea. They just said, let's give the leaders of this remote tribe in the Amazon forest, let's give them the internet. And I love the headline. It says, remote Brazilian tribe given internet, and they're now viewing graphic porn, falling for online scams, and hooked on social media. And just like the rest of us, it would seem, the Marubo people, who for hundreds of years existed in small huts scattered along a river in Brazil, were introduced to high-speed internet for the first time because of Starlink, just like Celine was mentioning. Huh. And they started like with easy stuff. They go, oh, you know what's great? If we have an emergency and we need like medical assistance, we can use this internet access to get medical assistance and communicate outside of our tribe. And they're like, that's really great. Okay, cool. We'll take that.
Weird question. Does this mean that they previously did or did not have computers? Like, I
don't know if they have like phones or tablets or something, but
I'm seeing pictures of them, the Starlink antennas, on the scenery of what they have going on in this tribe. Look
so interesting,
hilarious.
Yeah, it's a cool juxtaposition. It's like these people who are back in time with their dress and how they present themselves and the way they live, but then they're clashing with super new technology with satellite internet.
Well, now we know that their heads are not exploding at the very least.
Yeah,
right.
I thought that might happen though.
But imagine you told a group of or tribe of people, because this is basically, I mean, kind of what they did. I mean, there's wooden structures here, but there's a lot of thatch and a lot of, you just to build things only with what you've got in the forest. You may have access to some very primitive cutting tools. But you're on your own here. You got to do it on your own. And they have a little village of huts and shacks and a Starlink antenna.
It just doesn't fit. It said tribespeople were suddenly able to call for help in the event of an emergency, with medical helicopters able to reach them in a matter of hours rather than days. They could also connect instantly with relatives or friends camped dozens of miles further down the river or even further afield. These are all good, helpful things for them. But shortly after the Marubo people were introduced to the pleasures of the internet, the perils quickly began to reveal themselves. Now the indigenous tribal leaders report that people are becoming lazy, spending hours scrolling social media, and teens are hooked on graphic porn, they said. They have a satellite dish. They don't say what they're on, though. They don't talk about the device, but they say it's been really bad for the whole tribe now that they have this, and some of them have even fallen for online scams. Oh God, it's so weird. And you can see, like,
does Amazon Prime get over there?
I don't know. It would be not next day delivery. They would have to really dial down the expectations there. But Nolan says on YouTube, what do you scam a remote tribe out of? Yeah, it's true. I don't know what you get them for, but somehow I guess they've been taken advantage of. Shows you possibly, what can happen with the internet. But think about the good stuff. They can get people there much faster to help them out. And I think that's at least good, right? That seems like a good thing. All right, we're going to go to some of your dispatches here in a moment, get geared up for the next episode.
There's just so many videos of them like unboxing. They're unboxing Starlink antennas, but there's nothing of what they're connecting them to.
It must be a tablet or something. Wait, how would they even charge the tablet?
They might have some solar.
Yeah, they must have something like that. They have to have something that gives them electricity to be able to charge those things. John says they should show them that primitive survival page on YouTube where a guy builds mansions and water parks out of sticks. That would be interesting. They could change it up and improve on what they have going on for their infrastructure. It's just before we would go, let's make contact with the tribes. And now we're like, let's show them the internet.
This is way different than the Senegalese tribe that kills everybody that tries to make contact with them.
Well, those are people who don't interact with others, I think, right? Like they're more isolated.
I don't even know if anybody speaks their language.
Yeah, and these folks, they're right on the river, so they interact with people. They just don't have stuff like Starlink internet, or at least they didn't until now. Now everything has changed at least a little bit. What do you think about that? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. I hope this isn't in the next episode. I don't mean to be pilfering from the next episode just moments before we see what's in it. But did you see the story about Method Man and Redman?
No, all yours.
Okay, they were performing at a concert this week. And I want to see what you guys think about this because I'm genuinely kind of confused about this.
Are the two of them always a package deal?
They don't have to be, but I think they are a lot because they have a lot of songs together and stuff.
Yeah. Well, one of my first concerts featured the two,
Oh, did it?
Redman and Method Man.
Well, Method Man and Redman were playing at this festival for a radio station, and it did not go well. The Summer Jam didn't happen in a way that was positive for them. And I want to see if I could find the message that he posted afterwards.
My bad.
He said, us, gotta love that Summer Jam crowd energy, ... And then it says crowd, ... So like the crowd just wasn't responding to them. And he said, I don't think we're going to do anything like this. He said the generational gap is just too big, right? So the idea was these folks who showed up for this concert, they didn't know who Method Man was. They didn't know who Redman was. They didn't know what any of these songs were, and they weren't vibing to it. Why is it
would you
that
not vibe to it? I mean,
they don't know it?
Their music. Yeah, but you could. There's plenty of opportunities to see bands that you've never seen before, and you could still they could still work the crowd and win them over with just how it sounds and the hype of it all.
Yeah, that could happen for sure. But what I'm saying is this: like, if you had a band, well, we don't have to give a convoluted example here. We could just talk about Creed. So Creed is an old band. There's nothing new about what's going on with Creed, but Creed has seen a resurgence in the last couple of years where all of a sudden people like them. All those bands out of like the 90s and the very early 2000s, there's like, same time like Method Man and Redman had their hits. The bands that were playing rock at that time are still really big and people will go to see their shows. Why doesn't that translate over to rap as a format? Do you think younger people are not going back into like the archives and listening to older rap songs? It doesn't make sense to me. Like younger people who are country fans would probably have some knowledge of like older country. And if Willie Nelson came out and performed at a show, they'd be excited for it.
There's respect there.
There's a level of respect. And the generational divide doesn't seem to exist in music formats like that, or like definitely not in rock. And if you looked at the crowd last night for the Rolling Stones concert, I wasn't there, but I would guess there's, some older people, certainly, but probably some younger people too. Some younger people that still know what the Rolling Stones are all about and would like to go see their show. But they didn't even know what they were doing. The crowd is just sitting there, crickets, because they're not aware of this guy, who to me is like a pretty major figure in the rap world.
Yeah,
Method Man.
I'm also very surprised that people did not hear about this and go to the concert to see him. Like people that absolutely
His
is
fans.
from the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I understand that you might have like some people who were there for other groups or whatever, but it just that seems really strange to me that happens and mainly happens within the genre of rap. Like they're not going back into the archives or something. All right, let us know what you think. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch. When we return, the next episode with Sabrina. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? Zachary Quinto has been banned from a restaurant for setting his phaser to jerk. Oh, mother dear, will you be the fortunate ones to see the girl have one final fun? Plus, we bid adieu to a member of 2 Not So Live crew. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Ken, and Mike. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Here's your midday weather update from the Fox 35 Storm Team. I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner, and we've got a hot afternoon ahead and mainly dry. Our high temperature 93 degrees. We'll see a couple of storms this evening, possible out toward Tampa, but tomorrow we're going to have to wait here in Orlando for that rain because tomorrow it looks like it'll come during the afternoon. Finally, some welcome downpours in the afternoon and evening. Maybe not for your commute, but we're in the middle of a drought, so any rain will help. Tomorrow's high, really hot, 96. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Enjoying the news junkie? You've probably heard a ton of injury attorney commercials, but if you are injured and need a lawyer, who's the right lawyer for you? That's why we offer our 30-day risk-free trial. If you are not 100% satisfied with the way we treat you and your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com. Go to JustCallMo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Download the iHeartRadio app and listen to thousands of live radio stations, podcasts, and stream unlimited music playlists for any mood or activity. Powered by City Kia, Central Florida's favorite auto dealer.
City Kia.
Hey everyone, I'm Dante Marcatelli. And I'm Jake Chapman. We're the hosts of Magic Drive Time, the only daily audio fix for Orlando Magic fans. And actually, I just realized this, Jake, one of the longest running sports talk shows in Orlando. We've been at it for 13 seasons. How is that possible?
Oh, wow. That's good stuff, Dante. And that's exactly what you'll get on Magic Drive Time each day. It's your touchstone for the latest Magic news, game previews and reviews. We've got more stats and notes, and we know what to do with.
Listen to Magic Drive Time on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Each morning across Florida, hundreds of Duke Energy line workers start each day with one thing on our minds: making the grid stronger and more reliable for you. To us, it's about more than keeping the lights on. It's about being more efficient to help lower costs for our customers. It's more than a job, it's a commitment to building a smarter, more reliable energy future for Florida. Find out more at duke-energy.com/FL feature. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
You can host the best backyard barbecue. You find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 104.1.
Riding the daily roller coaster of viral news from the front row. It's
all things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Real quick, tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And Bridget emails. She says, have you heard anything about the mercury spill at the Titusville, Florida post office? I have not. They have shut down our post office for days now, and some of the mail will not be delivered. I haven't heard anything about it on the news, and the town has to keep checking in with different town council members to find out any updates. Just wondering if it's on your radar. Thanks for everything, Bridget. That's
you can mail
weird.
That?
And what does mercury do to you? I remember it being like a scary thing when you mess with a thermometer. They're like, watch out for the mercury. And like, it was an issue.
Isn't it?
This seems like it must have been bigger than that.
It produces toxic vapors when spilled and inhaled.
Oh, really? All right. So you don't want to get near
Obviously, there's
this
a big
stuff.
spill, not just like one thermometer break.
No, this must be a lot to shut down the whole post office for some extended period of time. We'll throw it out there. We'll see if anybody else knows what's going on.
Do
And
they even use
back.
mercury in thermometers anymore?
I don't know. Everything's so digital
What's
now.
the red stuff? I mean,
I don't even think they have those anymore.
if you had an analog, like old school thermometer, the red stuff, that's not mercury, right? Mercury is the silver stuff that's in your thermostat.
I don't know. Everything now is so digital. I have not looked at an actual thermometer in so long.
They say many liquids could be used in pressure measuring devices. Used in high density, requires less space. Also good conductor for electricity. Useful component of electrical switches. Also in dental fillings, paints, soaps, batteries, and fluorescent lighting.
This is mercury?
Yes.
Okay. I know you don't want to get near it. I know it's bad, even though that's crazy because it's so cool to look at if you spill some on the counter. It's awesome, but you're not supposed to mess with it. All right, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV. You can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Drums, man.
Drums, man.
It's the drums, man. The drums. I recognize it right away, man.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com. The Home Loans Radio Show. And he's your new best friend. If you're refinancing, buying your first dream home, perhaps you got an SBA loan and you are looking to perhaps get that fix. If it's 9, 10, 11%, you paid on time the last 2 years, he can make sure to get you a better rate. But you have to start the process by going to thatmortgageguyDon.com. And any question you have direct access to the man himself. Hit it, me.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
It was a mere 21 years ago, 2003. This gal right here.
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart is right. And she stepped down as CEO of her company on this day in 2003, just hours after being indicted on insider trading charges. So long ago.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that long.
Including
I guess it is.
obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and securities fraud. Served 5 months in prison plus another 5 of home confinement. Did she not get extra time for sneaking in something to decorate her cell or something like that?
I don't remember. I just remember her
Rumor
getting in
has
trouble
it.
for that and it being a big deal at the time.
She just wants to make it prettier, but now she is, I believe, thriving.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite of thriving is one of the members of this group right here.
Oh, 95 South?
Another number.
Oh, Two Live Crew?
You go, girl. That is right. And we must bid adieu to Brother Marquis, who has passed away at the age of 58. I almost played
50?
58. 57. I stumbled on my words because I almost played the theme song for the NFL instead of this. Right next to each other.
That would have been oddly out of place.
Yes, a longtime member of Two Live Crew is now Two Dead Crew. He passed away earlier this week, according to the group's official social media account, which noted that he went to the upper room. Two Live Crew's manager confirmed his death, but did not have any further details on the cause or manner. Sources with direct knowledge, however, say that the death appears to be natural. There's no foul play suspected. While Marquise, who was born Mark Ross, wasn't a founding member of the iconic rap group, he certainly helped cement it as one of the greatest acts of the 80s and 90s, and certainly my youth.
Yeah, well, now what do you
I
think?
could burn the CD.
If they played at a music festival, like the one where Method Man and Redman were, and nobody was like recognizing them and didn't jam to their music, do you think people would know Two Live Crew? Do you think they would know their stuff?
I would hope so. Me So Horny, I feel like, is recognized amongst generations.
It's pretty classic, yeah.
Weren't they just playing in that St. Augustine festival, or was it 95 South?
I don't remember.
It was someone different.
It was like both the bands that have almost the same song, wasn't it? It was like they both. One had like Whoop, there it is. One has Woot, there it is.
Right.
I think
Something like that. No, there was somebody else there. The Tootsie Roll people.
Oh yeah,
Tootsie Roll people. Oh duh. Now I'm blanking on their name. We'll call them the Tootsie Roll people. As Nasty as They Want to Be, Move Something, Banned in the USA, As Nasty as They Want to Be Part 2, that were all the songs he was a part of. By the early 90s, most of the crew was broken up, but he went on to find more success in the music biz on his own, forming the group Too Nasty, and then went on to be featured on a ton of records, including one for MCs like Ice-T and others. Eventually reunited with some of the Two Live Crew guys to put out more music, also released some solo stuff as well. Now he's living it up in heaven.
Oh.
This, I don't have a song for him, but he did find himself as a character on this film adaptation of this franchise.
Star Wars?
No.
Trek? Star Trek?
Star Trek is right. Points for you. Zachary Quinto is an asshole.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. This guy had like a hissy fit or something.
Big time. And he has been banned from a Toronto restaurant called Manita until he says he's sorry for being a big old jerk during a recent visit. In an Instagram post, the restaurant called Zachary an amazing Spock, but a terrible customer. And I end the quote, all because they couldn't seat him as quickly as he wanted. They said that he threw a tantrum like an entitled child, which made the host actually cry. Which says a lot. You can make the host cry, and made the other customers uncomfortable. They added, to all the other Zachary Quintos out there, on behalf of the restaurant workers everywhere, we aren't above criticism, but we are above being demeaned. And we'll see. He has yet to say anything about it whatsoever, but can't go back to that restaurant until he says he's sorry. Don't know if she'll get an apology, but the pretty reckless Taylor Momsen, she is now the victim of a bat attack.
Oh, my God.
Friends with a very special sound. Let's clap like a bat. Now our friends are here.
It was a little over 40 years ago. Ozzy Osbourne famously bit the head of a bat off.
Didn't watch like True Blood or something.
It was available on broadcasts, antenna style.
Gossip Girl?
That is correct, Sean.
Yeah.
You're on fire.
Nailed it. Hey, I got bats in my neighborhood, as do you, Sabrina. Should
Yes.
we be worried about the bats biting us? Is this a
They never come
problem?
around. They're usually up there eating the mosquitoes.
Right, which is great. That I love. I don't want to have any kind of bad relationship with the bats. I just wanted to make sure because she got bit.
Yeah. And the video is interesting. You can't play it because she curses a lot, as one rock star does. But everyone's trying to wave her down like, hey. And she's like, what's up? I actually don't understand what you're saying right now because this isn't a foreign country. And there was a bat just like on her until she finally realized it and it already bit her. But she performed anyways and then had to immediately get sent to a hospital. They removed the creature. She says, gracias, it's all right. The bat's fine. He's going to be my new friend. Holy F. Guitarist Ben Phillips stated, well, that hasn't happened before. And she says, I'm telling you, I'm an effing witch. mostly because she was in the middle of singing Witch's Burn.
Oh, right when it
Bender.
happened.
And now she has to go to the hospital. I believe that she is got 2 rounds, maybe 3 of rabies shots.
Damn, those are tough from what I hear.
They hurt, don't they?
Yeah,
it's a thick needle, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, it's a whole routine of shots.
You know what else is pretty tough?
What's that?
Rabies.
Very true.
Yeah, I don't want that either. I don't want to be scared of water. That's the weirdest side effect to an illness I've ever heard of in my life.
But you almost definitely die from rabies. So not only do you have
And you
this
go crazy, too.
weird side effect where you're crazy and you're afraid of water, but the only thing that makes it better is death.
Yeah, that sucks.
All right. Would you rather have rabies or your identity sold on the black market?
Give me the identity sold in the black market. I'll take that option.
Well, you're in luck because it's likely that your identity has been sold on the
Weird.
black market.
Glad you didn't pick rabies. I was kind of worried you'd pick rabies.
There's now been a lawsuit filed against Live Nation and Ticketmaster accusing the companies of negligence in allowing a third-party company to gain access to the private information belonging to, 560 million customers, very
That's
likely to
crazy.
include us. And then the information was listed for sale. Did you see the story already?
No. We mentioned it, I think, briefly
We
when
mentioned the
it
breach,
happened.
but they have now
Yeah.
found the listing on the black market for all this data
Yeah.
of 560 million customers.
What do they got? If it's our stuff, like, what do they know about us in this league?
It's full names,
Name.
addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, ticket sales and event details, order information, and partial payment card status. The last 4 digits of your card there.
Okay, so that can't get them too much.
Yeah.
But it's enough. That's definitely
Spam.
still a lot of customers' information. How much
Yeah, a
do
lot
you
of people
think-
that are going to
what's
buy that
the
are
asking
buying
cost
it.
for all of that?
I've seen very big lists that go for a lot cheaper than you would think, just because they resell the hell out of them.
I was
but,
surprised. Yeah,
$5,000 is my guess.
$5,000. Oh,
Yeah.
oh no, a little higher, much higher.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
$2.1 billion.
That was way too high. Oh, that was
You really
super
jumped,
high.
man.
$500,000, according to the
Sean's,
dark
okay,
web.
Sean's
wait.
barely closer.
So what is that? Let's do
What
the
this
math
would
here.
mean then? This would mean that what they're doing is they're selling that list to just like one person at least to start. The ones I'm talking
And that
about.
person flips the list.
Yeah, and that person sells it to like some more people. But eventually, the list is just out there, and to buy access to it, it becomes really cheap. But yeah, this
So-
will be just one person.
Now, riddle me this. Maybe it's a Mo question, but someone files the lawsuit, and is this on behalf of the 560 million users whose data was breached?
I guess I would hope so.
Because I didn't get an email saying I could be a part of this. Or
No,
does
maybe-
that one person get all the money?
No, but it just happens. So maybe it takes a while before they would actually send all that stuff around, and we'd be able to get some money.
Well, yeah. So remember the iPhone thing we just went, the mailbox money? That was for if you had an iPhone 7. Which is
by the way, couldn't sign up for that. I didn't
Why
get I went to sign up for it, and they're like, what's your ID? You should have gotten an email or a postcard with it.
Oh, really?
Did you have an iPhone 7?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, well, you needed the thing.
Did you get the thing?
I never had an iPhone 7.
Awkward. Spotify is raising its
skipped it.
prices. Well, this is funny. CEO Daniel Ek caused an uproar when he said that the cost of creating content is, quote, close to zero, which makes 0 cents.
Well, for
Spotify.
him it is. For Spotify,
But let's
it's
raise
free.
those prices.
Everybody else makes the music, and then you go, we'll take the music and put it on Spotify.
And you can have pennies.
Yeah,
The
here you go.
Individual plan going from $10.99 to $11.99. Duo plan from $14.99 to $16.99. Family plan from $16.99 to $19.99. So, according to the CEO, with the foot in his mouth, from what I understand, it's costing close to zero when it comes to creating content. Today, with the cost of creating content being close to zero, people can share an incredible amount of content. Of course, anyone who actually creates content, with some people calling it music, it will tell you that it's not cost $0. It costs quite a bit.
No, not for them, yeah.
But we'll see. He clarified later on, saying that he didn't mean to devalue the time, effort, or resources involved in creating meaningful works. It's just, he's just going to make a whole bunch of money. So best of
Okay.
luck with that. And finally, we I guess we'll be girls just having fun one more time because she is announced her farewell tour.
Cyndi Lauper, say it ain't so.
She out. She has announced the farewell tour called the Girls Just Want to Have Fun Farewell Tour. Right to the point. And it kicks off this October. She'll be joined by a surprise special guest who will be announced later. Tickets go on sale later this week, unless your data's been stolen. And she has a new documentary called Let the Canary Sing that hits Paramount Plus later on today. It's a story of her career as an artist and an activist. On the Boob Tube, we had the series premiere of The Acolyte on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is this about?
New Star Wars thing.
Are you going to be watching?
I think so.
Okay. America's
The guy
Got Talent.
from Everything Everywhere All at Once is in it, I think. I think it's that guy.
Oh, that guy. We have Password on NBC, stand-up special Marlon Wayans, Good Grief, and you can catch Will Smith and Martin Lawrence on Fallon. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. Share the show, and most importantly, stay with me, Marnie.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. When we come back, a comedian is on stage as somebody jumps on with him and attacks him. But the reason, well, I think the reason kind of makes sense. I'll tell you what went down in this insane circumstances coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. Real radio.
104.1. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's a couple accidents. Authorities are clearing up around the area. Travel with caution. Longwood Lake Mary Road at Greenway Boulevard. There's an accident on John Young Parkway at Deerfield Boulevard. Slowdowns on Florida's Turnpike southbound between Oakland Exchange and Hancock Road and I-4 through the city this afternoon. You could expect delays between State Road 408 and Ivanhoe Boulevard. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Order a Biggie Bag at Wendy's today. When you think of your go-to meal, what do you think of? Because if it's not the Wendy's Biggie Bag with your choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink, Wendy's Biggie Bag hits every time. So stop by and grab your ride or die meal. U.S. price and participation may vary.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman. Instead of talking about how great my law firm is, let's talk about autism awareness. In Central Florida alone, there are thousands of children on the autism spectrum, including my son, Jacob. I'm not asking for a donation, but just a couple seconds of kindness when you see one of our children out in public. It will make a huge difference. If you want or need any information concerning the autism community, contact me at jeff@whenyouneedus.com. Offices, Orlando.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will.
When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Hey there, homeowners. Russ Rollins here. Are you tired of staring at a cold, unused pool? It's time to make a change. Spring is the perfect time to add solar heat to your pool and enjoy it year-round. Solar Source customers, they enjoy family time, nighttime pool parties, movie nights, birthdays, and even low-impact workouts. Don't let your pool be a monthly expense with no enjoyment. Schedule a free consultation from solarsource.com/monsters. Remember, friends of Russ Rollins save even more money.
Tommy Mello here, owner of A1 Garage Door Service. Springtime savings are here, and now is the perfect time to service your garage. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. As the weather starts to warm up, keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
Thank you from Fence Outlet, Central Florida's top fencing company. As we celebrate 30 years in business, we want to thank our customers for their trust and support. We couldn't have reached this milestone without you. Find out more at fenceoutlet.com.
Wonderful product. I've lost 111 pounds using that product. 111 pounds. You could not believe the difference. I went from a size 48 pant to a 33 pant, and I've maintained that now for over almost a year now. Yeah, absolutely. Andro 400 has helped me lose 111 pounds, and I've maintained my weight for almost a year now.
Thanks, James, for that inspiring testimony and 111 good reasons to choose Andro 400. The most effective and natural way to lose belly fat, increase libido, gain energy, strength, and muscle while safely boosting your testosterone levels. So guys, how many reasons do you need for trying Andro 400? Well, here are 2 more great reasons. Order now and get free shipping plus an additional $6 off when you use the code SAVE6. That's SAVE6. Call 888-400-0435, 888-400-0435, or go to andro400.com. andro400.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-254-5751. 800-254-5751. Again, that's 800-254-5751. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Get semaglutide for half the price of Ozempic at Red Mountain Weight Loss today.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Yeah! Text the nationwide keyword LUCKY to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's LUCKY to 200-200.
Tackling sensitive subjects with unparalleled irreverence. You're listening.
Roaring Kitty GameStop, dude. That was the beginnings of the movie Dumb Money, which came out not too long ago. I love that this guy is back in trading and it's got like insane amounts of GameStop stock right now.
It's hard to do that.
I got to hit the
like
brakes
a fun
on
little
it.
word they had?
GameStonk? Yeah, GameStonk was one of the things. And stonks, Wall Street stonks, and all. There's like a whole language that these folks have. But I love it, because it highlights something that doesn't get enough attention. And before it was like the little guy versus the big guy. And when the little guy does something, everybody gets upset and they say, well, this is not fair. And God forbid somebody try to make a couple of bucks. But when the big guy does it, then it's like, man, this is just business. This is how it goes. And we're seeing that all over again.
Wasn't that a lot of the movie? Like they're basically like, how dare this kid do what we do?
All these fat cat billionaires were so pissed off. And that's real. Like they really were pissed off at this guy. Like, how dare you think you can do this? This is what we do. We go over here and we make money by rooting against these American companies. And you coming in and doing this is upending the apple cart for us. And now, how about this? Keith Gill, the popular investor who sparked the skyrocketing of GameStop's stock back in 2021, appears to be back at it again. And he might have his E-Trade account shut down, according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. The stock trading platform and its owner, Morgan Stanley, that's an important part, reportedly have concerns about possible stock manipulation, sources familiar with the matter told the Wall Street Journal. So now they're saying that they may shut down his E-Trade account so that he can't trade stocks, and Morgan Stanley is upset that he's manipulating stock prices. Let me explain this for folks who don't know how markets work and how the stock market works, and just like a super explain it like I'm 5 If a hedge fund manager, and that a hedge fund, if you don't know, is somebody who has billions and billions of dollars generally, and they invest it in a portfolio of stocks that changes depending on market conditions. And they are often shorting stocks like GameStop, so rooting against these American companies. So a hedge fund manager can say, we just purchased a whole bunch of stock in Pizza Hut or whatever the company is. And then they can go on CNBC and talk to the Kramer guy, you know, with the bulls and the bears and all the buttons and all the noises and stuff. And then go, hey, Jim Cramer on television here on CNBC, we just bought a huge stake in this company because we really believe in it and we really think they're going to do great. And no one on earth has a problem with that. Nobody has a problem with that. Nobody freaks out. Nobody says this should stop. But
despite the influence it'll have, right?
Despite the obvious influence that they're trying to import on the audience who's watching them, right?
Now, there's a disclaimer that says they're not experts or they're not money people, or you shouldn't take what they say as scripture.
Sure. Yeah, but Keith Gill, a.k.a. Roaring Kitty, goes on Reddit and goes, hey, I put my money where my mouth is. I believe in GameStop once again. Here's the proof that I've invested like over $100 million in this stock. And they go, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? This is market manipulation. Wait, hold on. Aren't you guys doing the same? No. Don't worry about that. When you do it on Reddit, it's market manipulation. When we do it on CNBC, it's just doing business. That's what we do. That's how this works. And
ridiculous.
Nobody at Morgan Stanley or any of the other hedge funds is going to like lose their trading platform. But they'll try to take away his E-Trade account? So that's insane.
When he testified, who was that with and for what?
He testified in front of Congress about stock shorting and market manipulation and all of those different things.
There was no wrongdoing on his part. It was
determined. No. They never found him guilty of anything. He simply just said he believed in a stock, post publicly all of his trades and his wins, and he would do YouTube videos, I believe. Right. Where he was just talking about his trades.
Too, right?
Yeah, which is totally fine. Like, if you invested in something, Sabrina, and you were like, hey, guys, I just invested
Iraqi dinar.
You can 100% say, everybody, I invested in Iraqi dinar and I made some money. That's fine. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to tell people what your investments are in. I guess unless you're just the little guy, then you're not allowed to do it. And last time, if you aren't familiar with the story, last time, you guys remember the uproar when they stopped sales of GameStop? Damn it. On Robinhood, I think, was the app that everybody was trading on the time.
Yeah, but I think that was because Robinhood didn't have it. So they didn't have it. They weren't able to back up those purchases.
To the movie, it was because the big guys, the big wigs, had reached out to Robinhood like directly and said, "Stop it."
Yeah. So it's a complicated thing because Robinhood is a middleman in the stock world, and they do gobble up everybody's funds and then later make the purchases with that. And they thought they could get caught holding the bag on that, but they did everybody else's trades and they had no problem with it. And on one stock in the GameStop app, on one stock in the Robinhood app, and it was the GameStop stock, on that singular stock, they only let you buy it. There was no sell button. They took away the sell button so that people would stop selling the stock. And you just go, they're just doing this in broad daylight. They're not even hiding what they're doing. They're so confident that the big guy could do whatever they want to do. And the little guy, you better stop it. You don't dare go up against us. We just print money over here. And that is crazy to me. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Send us a dispatch right now. There's footage today of a comedian in Madrid, Spain. All right. And the comedian is Jaime Caravaca. And Jaime Caravaca is on stage when some dude storms the stage. Let me see if I could find this. I'll try to bring up the video. And the dude who storms the stage whops him. He hits him real good upside the head. He pops him. And then the guy like goes backwards. He's so scared.
Hey, that's not cool.
Let me see. Spanish comedian. I'll have to find this so you can you see this. And I'll put it up on CNN. Okay, perfect. I found the video. And let me just mute this because even though it's Spanish, he's still cursing. Okay. Here is what happened in this club in Spain. And the guy gets up and he just hits the comedian, slaps him on the side of the head. The comedian is like against the wall trying to hide. The guy continuously apologizes to the rest of the audience. He's like, I'm very sorry. I don't want to do this. And then he's screaming at this comedian that he's got pinned against the commercial. I'll put this up on See It Now. I don't blame the guy. Here's what happened. This comedian decided to go after this guy who I guess is like some small politician.
At the comedy show?
Previous to the comedy show.
Okay.
So on social media, this guy started going after this small politician and his son, who is 3 months old. And he was like, your son is going to SD. Your son is going to get a big black, all this stuff about his 3-month-old son. He said all of these, he said nothing you can do to stop your son from potentially being gay, and like all these very, very vile comments about his son. And then the guy told him,
those are wrong. You're not supposed to say those about.
You're not, Sealand. You're not. And then the comedian, the politician goes, what are you doing? Why are you saying this about my son? And he doubled down. He was like, yep, there's nothing you could do. Your son's going to do the XYZ about oral sex, blah, blah, blah.
Out of nowhere, or was it like...
He didn't like his politics. He doesn't agree with his politics. So he just chose to go after him. He might be, I don't know anything about him. Alberto Puglilato is the guy's name. Alberto. Last name Pugilato is the politician. And he said, the guy doubled down on it. I'm going to go to the show. He goes to the show. He's like, what are you saying about my 3-month-old son? And slaps the guy. And now tough guy on Twitter is backed into a corner and he's scared and he's begging and he doesn't have nearly the machismo that he had when he was just posting stuff randomly about 3-month-old kids online.
Like the top 3 stories, the headlines under that name is like Spanish father punches left-wing comic. Then right under it, far-right activist attacks comedian on stage.
You can see where both of those are coming from a mile away. Yeah, so you can probably frame this however you want, but let's take the politics out of it. If you start saying stuff like that about my 3-month-old son, I'm probably going to try to pound you if I see you in public. I'm probably going to say something to your face because that is a thing that people are obnoxious and vile with the things that they say online, and then they shrivel up like cowards when you encounter them in public, and they say nothing. No, I'm just messing around. This is what we do online. We say these kind of things. Hell no. Don't say anything on social media that you're not really confident that you're willing to say to somebody's face. I'm not surprised this guy did it. Take shots at my 3-month-old son. I'd probably be pretty upset about that. Somebody said something about Jackson. You react to it, Sealand, or you just leave it alone?
I can't hit the person who says that because it's usually his mother.
Yeah,
she hopes that he's going to grow up and do some of those things.
She's rooting for it.
Gay son, gay son.
I said that he's going to have to come out one day as straight, and you're gonna have to look him in the eye, Ashley, and tell him we love you no matter what. We love you no matter what.
Mom, I have something to say to you.
Yeah. I like girls.
I'm sorry. We've got to have a conversation
Can't
here.
even look at you. Get out.
Like, if you hate the politician, let's say the comedian is a left-wing comedian. Let's say the politician is what they call him, far-right politician or something.
Sure.
Let's say those things are true. Say anything you want about the politician or whatever you're comfortable saying to them or saying to their face that you might be held accountable on. But when you bring people's kids into it and the kids are infants, what the hell, dude? This is not a flex. You're just trying to show people online that you're some sort of badass until you're confronted with reality. And then you're nothing. This is him in a corner crying for the man to stop slapping him in the face. That's just where we end up so many times. Reality is still a thing. You still have to encounter human beings. And the guy just went to one of his comedy shows and did this. I'll put this up on See It Now so you can take a peek and see what went down during this comedy set. I guess I can't tell what's happening. I don't know.
A lot of pressure on the kid. Let's be honest.
She doesn't know what's going on
Already
just
gone
yet.
viral. 3 months?
I know. Yeah, true. Getting
What if he
headlines
is
at
gay?
3 months old. That's something else. I don't know what the official word is on this, but it looks like the whole Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight might be canceled.
Cancel? I thought it was just postponed.
First, it was postponed because Mike Tyson had those stomach ulcers, which were flaring up on some flight I think he was on. And now the headlines that I'm seeing say canceled, and they're trying to get somebody else in the ring to fight Jake Paul.
Why?
And,
I mean, the whole point was Mike Tyson.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the exciting thing. Old versus young. Tyson, like the king of boxing, versus these new upstarts.
Then again, though, like, if you get a professional punch to the ulcer, that can't be good. That probably hurts so bad.
I know zero about that medically, but
Ever
it
had an
seems
ulcer?
bad. No. Can you get rid of ulcers, or do you always have ulcers? I'm not sure how that works.
So
I think it depends on where it's at.
I remember learning about an ulcer when I was very young, and you had to kind of dumb it down for kids.
Isn't it a sore?
So, all right.
Dumb it down for me, please.
No. This is
No,
when
I want you to.
When it was dumbed down for me, and I'm talking way down, I was told that ulcer was a hole in your stomach.
Oh, really?
I thought that was a hernia.
Okay, this says a peptic ulcer is a sore on the lining of your stomach, small intestine, or esophagus. So
Doesn't
it does
it
not
fill
have to
with
just be on the
pus?
stomach. It says a peptic ulcer in the stomach is called gastric ulcers, and a duodenal ulcer is a peptic ulcer that develops in the first part of the small intestine.
I'm sure it hurts.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very painful,
And if they explode, bad.
yeah, and then if you're punching somebody right there, like those punches do damage to your gut area, and it could not be good.
So let's get him to fight a different Tyson, a different famous Tyson.
The
there
guy
another
with
one?
the chicken?
There's Tyson
Fury.
Fury, who is
Yeah.
a boxer.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
And a good one. He's a very good one
He's
too.
closer to Jake Paul's age at
Yep.
35.
But that's not as fun. I want him to be old versus young.
All right, Tyson Beckford.
He's
the
not
actor. He's not a boxer. It says model here, but yes, actor.
Yeah.
He's 53 according to this website.
All right.
Oh man, I remember him from something.
The more
He's hot. Yeah, you definitely can recognize him. He was part of like the Victoria's Secret.
He was big in the
Era.
90s. I just know the name for being around all the celebrities and stuff back then. Not me being around the celebrities, but just
There's a lot of dead Tysons.
Oh, that's not good for Mike
A lot
Tyson.
of dead Tysons.
Well, they're going to replace Mike Tyson potentially with somebody, and I don't know that this is nearly as exciting. We'll see. We'll get into that. We'll talk about what's happening with that fight and a whole lot more. First, though, let's actually work you into the show a little bit more and get some dispatches in and see what you have to say about what's happening on the show. Here's OMG It's Price talking about the Method Man Summer Jam take, which I was saying, how come these folks who went to see a rap show with a lot of different rap performers at this Summer Jam thing, how come they didn't seem to know who Method Man and Redman were? If it was a different kind of music genre, they would probably know, like, okay, this is a 90s rock band, and their parents or other people would have introduced them to the older music.
Real quick, think about it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Would we, given the opportunity, have ever hired Redman and Method Man for Just Okay?
Yeah.
I would say no.
Why?
You don't think they're big enough?
I don't think they're big enough.
What are you talking about?
Method Man's a pretty big name, I feel
I think
like.
they're big names. I just don't see that being a thing that goes, all right, yeah, Redman, yeah, cool.
I mean, but also look at our other past acts. That's
Yeah.
right up there with a Coolio and Yin
clearly,
Yang.
clearly for the audience that was at that Summer Jams Festival, C-Lane's right, because they were just kind of staring back at the
Maybe it was promoted
performance.
poorly.
Yin Yang Twins have been part of so many more recent party songs.
Listen, I only found Yang Yang Twins because I went to their show of 100 people.
Wait. Do you think that if Yin Yang Twins were playing on that same stage where Method Man and Redman played, that they would have gotten a positive response from the crowd?
They might have, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think you're wrong.
I performed with Luscious Lisa to a massive crowd that was there for the main act.
Okay.
And no one had heard of Luscious Lisa, like at that point. Maybe a couple friends that came to see the show. And everybody was completely engaged. And her, listenership and followers went up significantly because there was a new audience introduced, much younger, by the way, than her typical audience. They've been a band for over 10 years.
Yes,
so the possibility is there if you put on a good show.
But don't you think that's a little more difficult if it's like a festival? Like, think a festival crowd. And now they're like, hey, here's a brand new band you guys are not familiar with. You could put on a fun performance and people will be like, this is cool. But they're not going to be able to certainly sing along if you have any original songs. But they didn't even really seem
from this Summerfest.
It was pretty flat. It was like the audience reaction.
They've also been in a bunch of movies and been part of the mainstream pop culture for many years.
Unless everybody in that crowd was sub 30 years old, I don't know how they didn't know more of the stuff from them.
Man. Is it
I don't know.
really what's happening now?
I think OMG Its Price is going to tell us if we are or if we aren't. So I'm a little on edge. Here we go. Let's see.
Excited to hear his first dispatch.
Yep.
Now, look, there's a lot that I can say about why I agree with Method Man, but I don't want to take too much time. I think the clearest point that you can make here is that Summer Jam this year was headlined by Doja Cat.
Yeah.
And if I'm a promoter, the group of people that I expect to pay money to see Doja Cat doesn't cross over with the group that's going to pay money to come out and see Method Man and Redman.
But why not?
Let me know if you want any more insight as to what I think. But just to kind of make it clear, I don't think I can make it more succinct than that.
No, I do want more insight because I still question that. I go, why not? Because I could say that you would have. What's the biggest rock band going right now? What's like the
what
the
are
top
the kids
rock band?
listening to?
21 Pilots is up there.
Okay, let's say 21 Pilots. If you had a show and you had 21 Pilots headline, and then you had a rock band from the same era as Method Man, like your Creed, like I gave as an example, or some of these other bands, maybe like a Breaking Benjamin or something. If you had them perform, I think people would still be into it. I think they would know those songs.
Bonnaroo in the past has always had these mix. They have Fred again headlining, but also Red Hot Chili Peppers. Last year, the place was packed for the Pixies, but I think Cardi B was still there, or Childish Gambino. I forget who the headliner was.
Right, there's a wide variety. And
people bought tickets to go to that festival.
Exactly. So why does it seem to be that there's a disconnect here? Or maybe C-Lane's right. Method Man and Redman just didn't have that many hits that everybody knows. Maybe that's the case. They were in, at least Method Man was in Wu-Tang, right? Was Redman in Wu-Tang? I'm not familiar enough with Wu-Tang to wander down this hall any further.
I don't know if he was.
I just thought maybe they could have done Cream, right? If they did Cream, there's no way the people in that audience wouldn't have reacted to it. It seems impossible to me. Let me know a little bit more, OMG Its Price. I'd like to hear about that. We'll get into the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson boxing match and what the hell's happening there. We'll get into a brand new golfer hits the PGA Tour. Why is this newsworthy? You're going to hear. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Ranked by, I guess, tourist attractions in America. Some
It's
magazine.
got to be the Big D.
Which one?
The Big D.
What was that?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say it. I don't want to get in trouble. The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Authorities are clearing up an accident on Lake Mary Boulevard westbound at Lake Emma Road. 2 right lanes are blocked there. There's also an accident on the Greenway southbound before Colonial Drive, blocking the right shoulder. Watch out for an accident on Longwood Lake Mary Road at Eagle Creek Circle, and authorities are clearing up an accident on John Young Parkway near Deerfield Boulevard. If you see any other traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, the ultimate cookie blizzard treat is the dessert that has it all. With Oreo, Chips Ahoy, and Nutter Butter, this blizzard treat has everything cookie lovers dream of. Don't wait. This one-of-a-kind confection won't be here long. Only at participating DQ.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
A weekend full of superstar performances this September.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 14th.
But starting June 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Orlando Magic Pod Squad is the Orlando Magic's flagship podcast, featuring interviews with Magic players, coaches, executives, and legends. Join me, Dante Marcatelli, along with the rotating cast of Magic personalities every Thursday during the season as we conduct deep dive interviews with Magic A-listers. This podcast is a must-listen for any Orlando Magic fan. Join the squad with the Orlando Magic Pod Squad on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ah, summer in Florida. You know, that fun season of watching the thermostat like a hawk, not to mention your power bills. Keep the AC in and the heat and humidity out with new windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. Renewal by Andersen delivers custom-designed, energy-saving windows and doors, and that's because their unique Fibrex material combines elegance and resilience, offering double the strength of traditional vinyl. And they offer a seamless experience from design to installation, providing durable windows and doors in Florida that can stand up to Florida's weather. And now through the end of June, buy one window and or patio door and receive one 40% off. Plus 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring experienced window and door installers. Just go to rbafla.com for complete details. Some restrictions apply. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
You met with the stable boy despite your father's orders. He hoisted you onto the saddle and you wrapped your arms around him, embracing his silent strength. He lay you down amongst the wildflowers. You experienced love like never before while you were buying dish soap. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover heart-stopping romance titles on Audible.
When you call me for an injury case, you don't pay a dime unless we win. The call and the advice are always free. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorneys.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
Orlando Magic Pod Squad is the Orlando Magic's flagship podcast, featuring interviews with Magic players, coaches, executives, and legends. Join me, Dante Marcatelli, along with the rotating cast of Magic personalities every Thursday during the season as we conduct deep dive interviews with Magic A-listers. This podcast is a must-listen for any Orlando Magic fan. Join the squad with the Orlando Magic Pod Squad on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Spectrum Internet has enough speed to handle all your needs, so you can work, game, and stream with speeds up to a gig. Plus, Spectrum's advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security for all your connected devices. Get Spectrum Internet with fast and reliable speeds, starting at just $29.99 a month with a 2-year price guarantee. Visit spectrum.com/internet for you for full details. Offer subject to change, valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
I'm Maria Kondakova.
And I'm Nate Silver.
And our new podcast, Risky Business, is a show about making better decisions. We're both journalists who moonlight as poker players, and that's the lens we're going to use to approach this entire show.
We're going to be discussing everything from high-stakes poker to personal questions.
Like whether I should call a plumber or fix my shower myself.
And, of course, we'll be talking about the election.
Listen to Risky Business on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Risky Business.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This
Your dispatches, we still got jury duty on the way. We'll talk about the Hunter Biden gun trial that's underway. What's happening with that? It got a little drama filled outside of the courtroom. So we'll check in with Hunter Biden's case and an email to get to. But real quick, I got gate kept big time last night.
By whom?
By a man at an Indian restaurant.
Okay.
And I think it was in my best interest. Because we go to this place, if you guys haven't been there, you should check it out. It's called Bombay Street Kitchen. It's like Indian street food.
Yeah,
it's a really nice place. It's like they got really great samosas, and like it's one of those Indian places where you go in and 80% of the clientele are Indian. So you go, they're doing the right thing here. We're in the right spot. Yeah, they basically do that with me because one of the early times I went there, not the first time, but probably the second time, I ordered, I think, the vindaloo. And it was, the guy's like, it's very spicy. It's like, it's very spicy. And I go, that can't be phased by spice, my man. Go hook me up with the vindaloo. And he makes me the vindaloo, and I'm like,
you're right. I'm sorry.
And he's laughing so hard. I'm crying at the bar, and this guy's laughing at me. And he's like, well, is it too spicy? And I go, no.
That was an interesting accent.
And they're like, there's such great, the service is so good at this place. So they're like so sweet and they don't want to be mean. But so we ordered some samosas and then we were about to order our entrees. And I go, can I get one of these appetizers? I pointed out of the menu. I'm like, this one, whatever it is. Can I get this?
The
this
shrimp that they have there is insane good.
Is it? I haven't tried
never
that
had
one.
the fire, what is it? Firecracker shrimp or fire? It's fire something. It is good.
I got to try that. If I can. I don't know if I'll be allowed to.
You're allowed to.
Because I pointed at the appetizer on the menu and I go, we'll take this. We're going to start with this as an appetizer. And he goes, no. You take this one. More popular. People ordered. You don't want this other one. You take this one. And I'm like, okay. And then he walks away and Courtney goes, what just happened? And I go, he rejected my appetizer order.
Maybe
replaced it with another one.
Maybe that was his way of saying like it's not good today, or
maybe
it's not good at all, or
he did it in the nicest way possible. Like I just went with it and accepted that I was not going to be able to get the thing that I ordered, and he redirected me to something else. And
what was the thing that you originally wanted to order?
The thing that we originally wanted was like some weird potato-based Indian dish. And the thing that he redirected us to was like deep fried kale or something like that. Either one of them are strange to me, but the guy was just like, no. We'll get you something else.
Maybe he took a look at you, Sean, and was like, you don't need potatoes, you need kale.
Yeah. This is the guy that cries when he eats Vindaloo. And maybe, look, you're too fat for the appetizer item, and you can't take the spice on the other dish. And then when I ordered, I was like, I'll take this, and I'll go, I want it spicy. And he goes, are you sure? I'm like,
is it the gunpowder garlic shrimp?
No, is that the one you get, C-Lane?
Yeah.
It's so
good.
That place is so good. I haven't tried that item yet. I've got to try it, but it's really a solid spot if you haven't been to Bombay Street Kitchen. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com, and Christina emails. Hello, my name is Christina, told you. And I have a question for Mo. But first, a little backstory. I work for a tiny gas station in the middle of nowhere at this time.
Hey, welcome to Tiny Gas.
And part of my job is selling tobacco products and alcohol. At this time, as far as I know, the law when it comes to carding people is any persons under the age of 40 are to be carded before the sale of these products are to be completed. It depends on where you are, I guess. In Savannah, they card everybody. You could come in with like a walker and be super old, and they card every single person at all the places that we went to. And it's like sometimes I think they're carding Courtney because she's younger, and then they're carding me to be nice. But not in Savannah. It was just everybody gets carded. At this time, Christina continues, as far as I know, the law when it comes to carding people is any persons under the age of 40 are to be carded before the sale of these products are completed. Now, here comes my question. A coworker of mine the other day was working when a sheriff came in asking for some chewing tobacco. My coworker asked the sheriff to provide ID to confirm age, and he mentioned the officer appeared younger. The sheriff then proceeded to tell my coworker that it's illegal for my coworker to ask an officer for ID, and that my coworker could be arrested for even asking. I myself have sold to sheriff officers and highway patrol, asking for ID a few times, and I've never been told this myself. Is this an actual law, or was this possibly a case of an overzealous officer just trying to be difficult? Thanks so much. Absolutely love the show and have tried several new palms thanks to Mo, says Christina. Thank you, Christina. That sounds to me like it's not a thing. If you work behind a counter and you're serving alcohol and your cigarettes and somebody comes in a police uniform, there's no reason why you can't ask them for ID.
It sounds like, I mean, if the guy was indeed younger, he might be saying this to intimidate you because he's indeed 19 or 20.
Right.
And not of age to buy alcohol or cigarettes.
Yeah, you could be a police officer, I believe, and not old enough to smoke cigarettes. Yeah. I think you could be both of those things. You could be 20
right,
and not able to smoke cigarettes. So the idea that he whips back at you and tells you it's illegal to ask a cop for ID, is it illegal to ask a civilian, a regular person, non-cop for an ID? No. So you can ask a cop for their ID. There's no way that's a law. But we will check in on this with Mo. I don't know if he's going to be here this week. You guys know what he's going on? What he's got going on? I don't trust him. I don't trust what's happening now.
Okay.
He's telling me a couple of stories.
Okay.
One is that he's going to Spain.
España.
He says he's going to try to be a bullfighter. I can't believe that is true. But he's going to Spain, so he's not going to join us this week on the show, I don't think, which is incredibly hurtful. And we're reeling over here as a result of this. But can you please put that on the list for when he does return from Spain, as Spanish Mo returns, and then we can ask him that question, C-Lane.
In Spanish, too, please.
Yeah. I might need some help with that. My skills are faded. 3 years of Spanish, and it's just in a disarray. I can't do it.
So I don't think this completely answers our question, but somebody says, I work for a sheriff's office. We are not allowed to buy alcohol in our uniform. We could actually be fired for that. I knew that you couldn't. I knew that you couldn't go to a bar and you said really like with a boner, buddy.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah,
but I didn't think about it.
I knew that you can't drink in your uniform and you couldn't like go to a bar and order alcohol and do that kind of thing in uniform. I didn't know that extended to, and it makes sense if you were just on your way home in uniform and you stopped by a Publix and got a pack of White Claws, or some Bud Lights or something. You couldn't do that. Now, in this case, though, I think that the emailer was talking specifically about tobacco. So I don't know that I don't know. It says they don't like it, but we can for tobacco. And somebody else says in some states it's illegal for police and firefighters to use tobacco products. That
Sure.
What? Like just even smoking
the
at
idea
all?
of getting arrested for asking for an ID is insane.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, that sounds like a cop abusing their power and saying, like, just do whatever I say. I'm demanding that you give me this, so do the thing that I said. Otherwise, I'm going to bring you to jail.
No, send the name and badge number to Sean. He'll take care of it.
No. Stay far away. The cops around my neighborhood I was the only one that they didn't tell during this manhunt to go inside. Actually, they did at the end. They're like, stop, go the other way. And I was like, my house is right there.
I'm not listening to you.
I said, can I go to my house? Said, okay, go ahead. We had like a little across the street, like, maybe 30-yard conversation with each other. So maybe we're in good territory now.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. I'll get back with that Jake Paul stuff and the golfer that is in the news, and we'll do jury duty where we talk about what's happening with Hunter Biden's case and some fireworks that went down at that today. What's the latest? That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
This is Real Radio 104.1 on your phone with the iHeartRadio app and on hundreds of devices like Alexa, Google Home, Xbox, and Sonos. We are an iHeartRadio station.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy, 3-time Pro Bowler. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Macy's.
Tua unveiled a shocking new weight loss recently in Miami, and I'll be honest, I want my quarterbacks to be a little pudgy. Mahomes, Stafford, Big Ben, Rivers, all great quarterbacks who had a little extra weight on them. Tua is short, not a big arm, and now he's too skinny. And for a guy who's one headshot away from his career ending, he should be bulking up, not down. I'm Colin Cowder.
Find the perfect Father's Day gift with Macy's Gift Finder. In just a couple clicks, you'll get personalized gift ideas for every dad at every budget. Visit Macy's.com/gift finder and give love today at Macy's.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Discover a career that matters at the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Be part of an innovative team delivering world-class health care and benefits to America's veterans. Enjoy robust benefits, work-life balance, and career development opportunities. Join a diverse and inclusive community that values your unique background and skills. A community where nearly 1 in 3 of your colleagues are veterans themselves. Apply now at vacareers.va.gov.
MD Hearing just made their Neo rechargeable digital hearing aids only $297 a pair. That's over 90% less than clinic hearing aids. The Neo actually fits inside your ear. No one will even know it's there. Get the hearing you deserve with MD Hearing. Go to shopmdhearing.com and use promo code RUST to get their new $297 when you buy a pair offer. Plus, they're adding in a free extra charging case. That's a $100 value just for listeners of the Monsters of the Morning. That's mdhearing.com and use promo code RUST and get their new $297 when you buy a pair offer.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
One more rep. You got it.
10.
Nice work. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I gotta tell you, taking Nugenix Total T makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix, that's the testosterone booster TV ads with Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, right?
Yes, the key ingredient is Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles to people?
Yes, Nugenix is a great way to feel stronger and leaner with more energy. And as Frank says, she'll like it too.
I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
Just send a text. Text BELT to 231231 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text BELT to 231231. That's BELT to 231231. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
iHeartRadio Broadway celebrates this year's Tony Awards Sunday, June 16th, and takes you backstage with Broadway's biggest stars and commercial-free Broadway hits 24/7. Just search iHeartRadio Broadway on the iHeartRadio app and start listening.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Power on this spring and summer with Batteries Plus. In stores and online too, you'll find batteries for your car, RV, boat, motorcycle, ATV, golf cart, and more. Life's waiting. Power on with Batteries Plus. Visit one of over 700 locations today.
Divorce? Call Trinley & Kramer, TK Law. OneFirmForLife.com.
Frank Gay Services has something cool for you. Keep your AC running smoothly with our expert service. Experienced, professional, friendly, and speedy care that earned us thousands of 5-star reviews. That's the Frank Gay way. Visit FrankGayServices.com or call for details.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Send us a dispatch and join the ranks of the great 5%ers.
Deeds emails. He says, on the Method Man debate, Method Man by himself should be a bigger draw than, let's say, Jason Mraz, unless it's a nostalgic acoustic pop crowd. Sorry, C-Lane. Also, that math question you were so adamant about being right about a while back, well, you were incorrect, but you being so convinced you were right had me in stitches. What math equation is he talking about? I don't remember that.
Is this one of those best of things?
Maybe it could be.
If it is, I was definitely right about that.
Oh God!
But if you'd like to maybe clue me in on what I got wrong, I'm interested in this discourse.
I think that reignites the debate every time you play that best of. I think this has happened
people
before.
texting me to my personal phone number going, it's this, it's that, it's this. And I
Order
go,
of operations.
I am at 7-Eleven right now. But no, the Method Man thing versus Jason Mraz. It sounds like you got butthurt that I said that Method Man wasn't a good draw and you're trying to insult me, which, okay, fine.
Right.
But I still stand by it that I don't think that like pull the crowd. I can't even name a bunch of Method Man songs.
No, that's kind of a problem. This says Wu-Tang. Right. So Wu-Tang has 40 million albums sold. Method Man has 4 million albums sold. Redman has 3 million albums sold. Jason Mraz has 11.5 million albums sold. Love you, C-Lane and crew, the Deeds. Thank you for that. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. If you want to chime in on the show.
Listen, Mr. Deeds. Go back to
Adam Sandler.
Winchestertonville. Damn it.
Yeah.
I
All
just
right.
screwed it up.
Write some more Hallmark cards, Mr. Deeds.
McAfee to tipsofthenewsjunkie.com says, I would 100% go to the 21 Pilots and Breaking Benjamin tour. Well, unfortunately, it's not real. I was just making it up off the cuff to say that it would have been received well. But this is developed into sort of an interesting thing to try to figure out what happened here. There is, meanwhile, for our friends in California, a heat wave over you right now. And it's a cooker. They're calling it a heat dome, which doesn't sound great, honestly.
That's what I call my hoo-ha.
Heat dome, it says about 20 degrees higher than normal for early June because of this heat dome that moved off of Mexico and is now in California. Heat domes form when atmospheric conditions act like a lid on a pot, preventing precipitation and the release of hot air. They block the breezes that would otherwise draw cool ocean air into the Central Valley from San Francisco. And they're expecting highs up to 106 degrees in Sacramento Valley, I think, 104 in Modesto, 103 in Fresno. Pretty toasty over there in California.
Oh, it's going to be so hot this week, too.
Don't the folks in California, specifically Los Angeles, I believe, don't they argue that that's the best climate in the United States? Like that's why there's so many people there. Like, it's pretty consistently a good temperature.
From what I understand.
It's usually doesn't get too cold. It doesn't get too hot.
Humidity is a bitch for us.
But there's not. I don't think there's not that many bugs, or I don't think there's too many bugs.
They just had that cicada thing. Did they not?
In California? Do they have them? I think it's more on the East Coast.
Last year.
But the folks in California, all the houses have like those big sliders that open up, so you could just open up your front yard to your backyard. And I always wonder, like, how do they not get bugs and mosquitoes and everything inside? They're not living in a swamp. You forget sometimes they're phonies over there in Los Angeles. Even their palm trees are fake. They don't grow palm trees naturally in California. They stole all our palm trees and then moved them over to California and make it their symbol, kind of, for the city. And it's a weird spot.
It's so much so that one of those variety shows that John Mulaney did, the whole topic was palm trees.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's that guy doing these days? Is he still clean?
As far as I know.
Last time we talked, yeah.
Yeah, okay. He talks about his drug use pretty publicly, but
I think it'd be really weird to backslide like that and then still do those bits. I mean, I don't know. It would be like, do you have other material to fall back on if you relapse? And
he'd end up in that territory and be like, I used to do drugs. I still do drugs. But I used to too. Real quick before we get into jury duty, Jake Paul as Mike Tyson in this fight looks like it's going to be canceled. Perhaps. I hope it isn't. But now a new challenger is emerging, and ultimate annoyance, it's Logan Paul. Logan Paul says, I should be the one to fight Jake Paul so we could find out who's the better of the two of us. I don't think that's going to be as big of a draw. The Tyson thing.
Is Evander Holyfield still kicking or punching, I should say?
He's going to be way too old to get in the ring with one of those guys. In the PGA world, a 15-year-old is making their PGA Tour debut after some success in the sport. Miles Russell is his name, accepted a sponsor exemption for the Rocket Mortgage Classic, later this month, that he's set to become one of the youngest players ever to compete on the PGA Tour. 15 years old, native of Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Good for you, man. That's wild. All right, here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Russell on YouTube says California has cost of living issues. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, in Los Angeles in particular, they've got cost of living issues that I don't even think they can grow out of. One of the reasons why is if you ever do a Google Maps overview, my words are not coming to me today, of Los Angeles, it's almost exclusively single-family homes. There's like single-family homes, like just for miles and miles and miles, blah, blah, blah. You have to have a variety of housing options in a city like that. Otherwise, you get limited inventory, and now a $2 million house is like Jimmy's Chicken Shack. It's not a super impressive sight to see. for
They're
all
actually
those
going to be
monies.
chicken there?
I sure hope so. Otherwise, what a letdown. All right, Jury Duty brought to you by Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO, 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. If you get into an accident, there's lots of opportunities out there and lots of attorneys, but there's one that's going to treat you the right way, and that is Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. 866-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. The Hunter Biden gun trial, it's underway. Opening statements have started today. This is the president's son. He's accused of lying about drug addiction on a federal gun form. Here's what this comes down to. When you get a gun, you have to fill out a form. And on that form, it says, I'm not currently addicted to any drugs. And if you put no, you're lying on a federal document. And that's what this stems from. Now, there's a lot of other stuff that Hunter Biden was doing that was illegal that he got caught up in. But this is the center of this particular case, that he's been accused of lying on a federal form when he bought a .38 caliber Colt Cobra Special in 2018. He falsely said he was not a drug user despite being addicted to cocaine at the time. He has since pleaded not guilty to all charges. He had a plea deal, but the judge said this plea deal is ridiculous and would clear Hunter Biden of like future crimes that could arise from this case. And it was just too much of a sweetheart deal that didn't seem right to him. So Hunter Biden started fighting and said, I'm going to take this to court. Now here we are in court. The jury is sat, 6 men, 6 women, plus 4 women serving as alternates in the case. One of them is like friends with a Secret Service agent or something, which
I feel
seemed
like that would make him not a good jury.
I would think that would be like too close, but I guess that's one step away, like it's one layer away from it being an issue. And the interesting thing was, as the jury was sat, the first lady was in the courtroom yesterday. And I was trying to picture myself in that position. You're in the jury, you're in the jury box. And you look over and you're like, oh, man, the First Lady of the United States of America is in the courtroom here. That's obviously meant to send a message. We'll see where all this goes. This is just the new thing. We got politicians and politicians' sons on trial. And this one should wrap up quicker because the case is pretty open and shut. I mean, it looks like he's screwed on these charges. We'll see how it all goes. When we return, we will talk about what happened outside the courtroom of the Hunter Biden trial. New things happening on X and new things happening on the moon, for God's sake. What is it all about? It is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio. Real radio. Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
The shoulder is still blocked on the Greenway due to an accident southbound before Colonial Drive, and multiple lanes are blocked due to a serious accident on Lake Mary Boulevard westbound at Lake Emma Road. On State Road 408, there's a bit of delays eastbound between Conway Road and approaching Severin Boulevard. And if you see any other traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Get immersed in new worlds and ideas with Audible. Explore an incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals, all in one easy app. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
4th cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Orlando Magic Pod Squad is the Orlando Magic's flagship podcast, featuring interviews with Magic players, coaches, executives, and legends. Join me, Dante Marchitelli, along with the rotating cast of Magic personalities every Thursday during the season as we conduct deep dive interviews with Magic A-listers. This podcast is a must-listen for any Orlando Magic fan. Join the squad with the Orlando Magic Pod Squad on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey homeowners, Russ Rollins here to talk to you about something serious, your power bill. Last summer was tough, but this year could be even worse. So don't wait until the last minute to get protection and savings from solar power and backup power. Solar Source has a new pay-as-you-go solar package that lets you start with an affordable base system and add solar panels over time. Plus, their pay-as-you-go battery backup is awesome, and it lets you add critical backup power as you go. Schedule a free consultation at SolarSource.com/monsters. Get ready for a stress-free summer.
Rise and shine, honey. We don't want to miss our flight.
Our flight is in 7 hours. And we have TSA PreCheck with our Navy Federal flagship credit card.
TSA PreCheck? Getting my bugle through security will be so much easier now.
Learn how you can earn up to 3 times points on travel with the flagship credit card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Okay, this contract looks good to me. Let me just run it by my lawyer.
Everyone knows that having a good lawyer on hand can be a real game changer, which is why Legal Shield connects you to a vetted law firm in your state for a low monthly fee. Only Legal Shield has been providing this kind of legal peace of mind for over 50 years. Need an experienced set of eyes on that fine print? With Legal Shield, you can say,
let me run it by my lawyer.
Is the dealership giving you a hassle about warranty repairs?
I guess we'll have to talk to our lawyer.
And for that will you've been putting off, you can finally tell your family.
We're good. I had our lawyer take care of it.
Legal Shield isn't AI bots. It's a dedicated group of real lawyers who have your back, no matter what the future brings, all for around the price of those streaming services you don't watch anymore. Sign up at LegalShield.com/radio today. PPLSI does not provide legal representation or advice. See a plan for complete terms.
I bought 1 bottle of Harem. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it, and I had a balding spot on the crown, and I don't have that bald spot anymore. So I know it's working for me. I can definitely tell a difference. And my barber said, your hair seems thicker. I have fine hair, but it's just thicker. It's kind of gradual, but like I said, I've only had 1 bottle.
Fantastic results, Mark. Harem can absolutely regrow your hair. Made for both men and women and all hair types, Harem treats receding hairlines, the crown of the head, and thinning hair. Harem has proven to be as effective as minoxidil, but without harsh chemicals, no side effects, and provides long-lasting results. For a natural solution to regrow thicker, healthier hair, go to GreatLifeNow.com and see how you can get a free bottle of Harem today. That's GreatLifeNow.com. GreatLifeNow.com. GreatLifeNow.com.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Now, it's your time to make more money and be your own boss. Come to the Franchise Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Orange County Convention Center to meet with the best money-making franchises. Learn how you can open a successful business. This life-changing event is your only chance to see all the hottest money-making opportunities in one place. Find the perfect business for you at the Franchise Show, presented by the Entrepreneur's Source. This weekend, the Orange County Convention Center. Get tickets at FloridaFranchiseShow.com.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind Studios. Why Kaufman & Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyounitus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Screaming, some chaos, and I guess Hunter Biden's wife was shouting at some former Trump administration official, like calling him a Nazi piece of S, and a lot of overall screaming going on, and just as quite a scene over there from what I could tell. I can't play it because, obviously there's some curse words involved in this incident, but it's worth keeping an eye on what's happening there is the next couple of, I don't even know if this is going to take a couple of weeks. I think it will probably be a lot shorter than that because, like I said, it's a pretty cut and dry case against him. A couple of things to get into before we hear from some of your dispatches, and you can send yours over at thenewsjunkie.com. As we mentioned earlier, X/Twitter is going to be allowing adult content on the platform. I think I know what's going on there, and it's fairly obvious. First of all, the platform is already infested with adult content.
I was going to say, wasn't that already a place where you could see some adult content?
Yeah. And anytime you hit like a trending hashtag, if you scroll far enough, like you get past the people who are commenting legitimately about the issue, almost every time I do that, there's all of a sudden some porn. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How are those things related? It was a discussion of celery.
They shouldn't be necessarily. But when you look at this from their standpoint, number one, they're going to try to do like a thing where it's censored and then you click, to reveal the not safe for work content. But beyond that, I think this is their opportunity to go after OnlyFans. I think that's what they're doing here because, you can have people subscribe to your Twitter and pay money or whatever to follow you to get specific content. That basically makes the same exact setup as an OnlyFans account has, and that's what I think they're trying to make some cash on.
Is it going to stop adult content from just showing up willy-nilly in your Twitter feed?
It hasn't done a great job of that so far. It really has not, and this is my experience. And it's not like an algorithm thing, like I'm clicking a bunch of adult stuff. It's just that people post it on those trending pages so that they can get more views. And then almost always you look at their profile and they're linking to some sort of OF account. That's just what happens over there. China made it to the moon. I'm not sure if moon deniers are going to believe this or not, but congratulations.
They did it. China.
They put the country's red and gold flag on the far side of the moon for the first time ever.
Wait. Did a person set foot on the moon?
No, China said its lunar spacecraft unfurled the country's red and gold flag for the first time on the far side of the moon before part of the vehicle blasted off.
Did we do that?
Did we put it up with a human or did we put it up with a robot? Is that what you're asking?
Did we put it up with a robot before the human did it?
We put it up with a human, I believe.
I know that, but did we?
Previous? I don't know.
Seems like cheating.
Yeah, like get a person on the moon. That's the accomplishment there. The mission was hailed as a success in China, which has made significant advances in their space program. They want to put a person on the moon before the end of the decade, they say. But right now they got some lunar samples, some rock and soil samples that they're bringing back to Earth. And we'll see if we learn anything new about that moon of ours. Let's go over to your dispatches. Here is 2 tickets to Pound Town. This just says, I 100% agree with Sean. I have no idea what it's about, but thanks, I think.
What up, news junkies? Hey, guys. Sean, I was catching up on the podcast yesterday, and I had to dispatch in thank you. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I truly mean this. Thank you. You go hard at the Canadians. Please continue to do that. You could stand to go a little harder at them, too. They need to get checked. I'm tired of those floppy-headed, bacon-eating... Well, bacon. I'm not going to say anymore.
Bacon's a whole different argument when it comes to life in Canada. That's a whole different battle. Let's move over to Insecure Walrus.
I love it when they laugh at me for ordering the spiciest thing and then I eat it all, despite all the pain. Whether it's hot chicken or Indian food,
just crying,
Thai food, just my preference.
Tears rolling down your face.
There used to be in Nashville a sushi place called Sam's Sushi, and it was run by a Japanese man who was very politically opinionated, leaning towards the liberal Democrat side, and it was like the soup Nazi on Seinfeld. You would go in, you would order what you wanted, and then he would bring to the table what he decided you needed. Mm-hmm. I don't think your bill increased in price, but if you ordered something that he didn't think you would enjoy or maybe didn't like, I don't know what his reasoning was, but he would literally, you'd be like, this isn't what I ordered. He was like, this is what you need. This is what I brought to you. You will eat it. And if you ever made him mad, or if you ever expressed any Republican views, he would ban you for life, and you weren't allowed to come back.
It's a crazy move, man.
I'm good with really spicy. I just try to be nice so that they let me keep on coming back wherever I go.
I never get when a restaurant wants to be intimidating. I'm always weirded out by that. It's the place that I always think of when I think about an intimidating like restaurant situation would be the famous cheesesteak place in Philadelphia, where when you go,
like
Panzer Geno's.
Yeah, one of the two of those. I'm not sure which is the one
called Cheese Whiz. Right? They're like, get out of here.
Like you need to know immediately when you get up to the window exactly what you want your order to be, and there are like strict rules on how you have to order your cheesesteak.
It wasn't that bad. We went to both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just heard that this was the case, like because I think there's signs up like right around where you order on. Which one was that? Is that Geno's or the other one?
I don't remember which one of us went to which.
I went to one of them. Don't remember. I was so hammered.
Yeah.
Are they both food trucks? Both of them are just like
they're like trailers.
No, they're standalone.
Oh, really?
But you go up to a window. It's not like you can go sit down. There's like tables on the outside. But
yeah, that was the one that I went to. I think at one point in time. But always the word was like, don't screw up. Get your order in your head ready to go, and make sure you're doing it perfectly. Otherwise, they'll be so mad at you. Here is Bruise Traveler talking about Indian food.
Hey guys, Bombay Street Kitchen, amazing. I had the vindaloo there, and then I said to them as they were going to make it like you would make it for yourself.
That's a bad idea.
And it was one of the best things I've ever eaten. However, for the next 2 days, I was in
the ICU.
Gastric distress.
Yeah. It was good.
I can't wait to do it again. That place is the best Indian food I've ever had.
I was just dying. It wasn't like it was bad at all. It was just that it was that spicy that tears were rolling out of my eyes. It was a punishment to myself.
How was the aftermath?
It was fine. I didn't really have any issues. It was too much. It was overwhelming. And I couldn't fake it. I would have just gone, let me muscle through this. I couldn't fake it because actual tears were, and sweat was coming off of my face. It was visually clear that I wasn't cool and calm and collected. It was a real problem for me. Here's John talking about Game Stonk. Okay.
So about this whole roaring kitty thing, and it always amazes me. It's like every time that this happens, people seem to open up their eyes, see what's going on, that it's not Republican versus Democrat or right versus left or this or that.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's us versus them. But then the media goes and, just feeds us all that crap. And then it's like puts the wool over everybody's eyes and everybody's blind again.
Yeah.
It just amazes me sometimes.
It's easy to divide people, and people seem to have a knack for taking the bait, and there's certainly something to that. I don't know if it's like as simple as just this media thing. The reason why the media, and I'll be more specific, cable news, works to divide Americans. And just as an aside, it does an okay job at this in a bad way. But really, if you look at the numbers, only a fraction of Americans, a tiny percentage, watch or interact with cable news on MSNBC, Fox, or CNN. Probably less than 8 million people a night are watching those three networks. But they do this for money. That's why they do it. They do it because it's a business model. MSNBC is not doing this because they're after some political goals. They saw that Fox News was incredibly successful in trying to go after the conservative audience who was totally underserved by almost all media outlets. And so they started doing news that leans to the right. And so MSNBC said, damn, I think there's a marketplace here for us to do this in the opposite direction. And they just started building on that. And those two generally have the biggest numbers. And it's all about making money at the end of the day. I mean, maybe there's some other motivations in there, but mostly I think it's probably about just making some cash for everybody. Okay, quick break. When we come back, a couple was out fishing, and they reeled in something that they're never, ever going to forget. What was it? That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Authorities are clearing up an accident on Colonial Drive between Rouse Road and Alafaya Trail. There's also an accident off to the right shoulder on the Greenway southbound before Colonial Drive. On I-4 this afternoon, there's delays through the city between State Road 408 and Ivanhoe Boulevard, and intersection backups where Vine Street meets John Young Parkway. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by J. David Tax Law.
If you owe the IRS and can't pay, now is the time to call J. David Tax Law. The IRS has resumed their aggressive collections. Don't wait. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Orlando, or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
A weekend full of superstar performances this September.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 14th.
But starting June 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders get first access to tickets and other exclusive offers for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details. What's in your wallet?
Hey everyone, I'm Dante Marcatello. And I'm Jake Chapman. We're the hosts of Magic Drive Time, the only daily audio fix for Orlando Magic fans. And actually, I just realized this, Jake, one of the longest running sports talk shows in Orlando. We've been at it for 13 seasons. How is that possible?
Oh, wow. That's good stuff, Dante. And that's exactly what you'll get on Magic Drive Time each day. It's your touchstone for the latest Magic news, game previews, and reviews. And we've got more stats and notes than we know what to do with.
Listen to Magic Drive Time on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention soccer fans, get ready for an exciting matchup with one of the world's best in the second annual Allstate Continental Classico. Join us on June 12th at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida for an unforgettable showdown between your U.S. men's national team and Brazil. This match is not just a game, it's a vital part of the USA's preparations for the 2024 Copa America. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at ussoccer.com/tickets.
Hey, Russ Rollins here. Did you know Life Imaging FLA? They've been around for about a year now, a year of saving lives. And I say that, and it's all actually accurate. I have 4 friends who went to Life Imaging FLA, found out they had heart blockage they had no idea that they had, and it did save their lives. Dozens of listeners have told us the same story about finding out about cancer early and heart blockage. You can go and get this same scan done, and it will give you peace of mind, and also can let you know in advance if you have something that you need to take care of. Life Imaging FLA, they know that early detection of heart disease and cancer is a game changer when it comes to early treatment and the outcome. It's Life Imaging FLA. If you want to get that heart scan, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan, and with a few minimum requirements, this is a $699 value, and you can get that free heart scan like I did. It's Life Imaging FLA. Pick up your phone, dial pound 250, say the words free heart scan. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Life Imaging FLA.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You sailed beyond the horizon in search of an island scrubbed from every map. You battled krakens. You navigated through storms. Your spade struck the lid of a long-lost treasure chest. while you cooked up a lasagna. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover best-selling adventure stories on Audible.
iHeartRadio celebrates the Tony Awards Sunday, June 16 on iHeartRadio Broadway, the greatest songs of musical theater.
Alexander Hamilton.
Go backstage with Broadway's biggest stars. Hear the stories behind the shows and commercial-free Broadway hits 24/7. Plus, check out exclusive interviews with this year's Tony Awards nominees. iHeartRadio Broadway, one of over 100 commercial-free stations on the iHeart app. Just search iHeartRadio Broadway and start listening.
Look to Orange Buick GMC for your next truck at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips.
Moments away as more of those dispatches pour in. I don't know what I would do in this incident or in this situation here. The AP has a story about a juror that was dismissed because of something that happened during a trial that they were involved in. And the juror was dismissed after reporting that a woman dropped a bag at her home. And when she went to get the bag, it had $120,000 in cash in it. And it said, if you vote to acquit these 7 people charged with stealing more than $40 million from a program meant to feed children during the pandemic, we'll give you even more.
All right.
Damn.
So,
and she admitted it?
Yeah. Well, the juror just said, hey, I want to come forward and tell you that somebody dropped off $120,000 in a bag, and they were trying to buy the verdict here.
She have to get the money back?
I think so. I would imagine
who would she give it to?
I don't know.
Sounds like
maybe
a
it just
gift
goes.
to me.
Does it go to the state? It happened in Minnesota, so Minneapolis may be where this ends up going money wise. They said this is completely beyond the pale. This is outrageous behavior. This is the stuff that happens in mob movies. And they said that these 7 are the first of 70 defendants expected to go to trial in a conspiracy that cost taxpayers about $250 million.
I mean, part of me would be a little bit worried about what would happen to that person. Like, what would happen? Like, if it were me, and let's say I came home and there was a whole bunch of money just sitting there waiting for me, free of charge, and says,
"Yeah,
all right, you just gotta vote to acquit, and you're gonna get more." First of all, I don't know that I'd believe I would get more, but it's also hard to believe that I would come home to 120 large.
Usually, it's like
sitting on my front porch.
The offer first, but they just dropped it.
It's so blatant, right? Like you would not think that they would be so out in the open about doing this.
If I did the right thing in the eye of the law, and
they dropped $20,000.
Well, no,
you're right.
But does that juror? Here's a good question for Moses. Does that juror have any obligation to turn over that money to somebody?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. Put that on the list. The 23-year-old juror said she immediately turned over the bag of cash to police. That's scary for other reasons, too, because whoever was willing to put $120,000 in a bag and try to buy off you acquitting people during this court case where you were a juror also knows where you live now.
Yeah.
Also, are you the only juror that got $120,000?
That very, very well could have been more of these. The other jurors, like
all the jurors to acquit. So the other jurors just like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, there's like 3 other jurors on this jury, and they're like, "Wow, that's wild."
Really wish I would have gotten some money.
That's sketchy.
She claimed a woman left it with her father-in-law on Sunday with the message that she'd get another bag of cash if she voted to acquit. They found it troubling and upsetting, and now they're trying to continue with the trial right now. But man, it would be scary. It would be super scary just to be that person, because you know that they know where you live, and there's a huge element of danger involved in that now that they've been so willing to do something so brazen. Okay, we're going to hear from you in just a second. First, the story that I teased a little bit earlier. These people who are out there magnet fishing, it seems to be growing. There seems to be
I've
a
always
more...
wanted to try it.
What do? Do you just get a regular fishing pole and gear it up?
No,
or
it's a rope.
You have to get a rope, and you put like a
rope,
real
and it's a big magnet. So
super powerful magnet.
It seems, at least like when they're like, "Oh, I got something big, guys! Whoa, this is great!" Like it could be very heavy, and so it does take some strength and probably a lot of patience.
Well, this couple that was out there, I guess they had enough patience to pay off. They were making these videos for their YouTube channel, and as they start reeling in with their magnet fishing, they find a bunch of stacks of money, and they keep going through it, and they say, "Oh my God, there's $100,000 cash in here." It was like a safe that they hooked onto.
They acquitted the guy.
With magnet. No word on whether this is attached to any sort of ongoing trial or not. That we don't know just yet. All right, let's go over to somebody who I was talking about chatting with. This is a guy named Joey Rosati. First of all, Joey, you there? You hear us? Uh-oh.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Okay, I can hear you. Joey got a bunch of attention over the weekend for something that probably was not super fun for him. And on Twitter, his thread started to go viral. And I wanted to bring this to everybody because sometimes we sit and think, we're like, I'm super smart. Like, I would not get caught up in a scam. It could not happen to me. And it can. Like, it got really close for you. So let's walk people through this, Joey. To go back, you were just walking through Costco, right? You were shopping at Costco and you got a phone call. Now walk us through what happened.
Walking through Costco, man, just like everybody else. Again, I have a career where I get calls from random numbers. I'm in the lending space, so you're always getting phone calls from individuals. Have to pick it up. Starts with just, hey, I'm Deputy XYZ, badge number XYZ. Is this my name located at my address? Again, starts off that the voice is perfect, man. It's American. Stern. I like to call it the typical sheriff's voice.
Sounds confident, right?
Howdy.
Yeah, I mean, everybody always thinks, a scammer is now, there's overseas call centers and you can hear them typing in the background. It wasn't like that.
Yeah. So they say we're from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. They got your name. They got your address. They even read off to you the last four of your social, and they tell you you're in trouble, right? What did they say you were in trouble for?
It was more nuanced than that, which is why I was really creative. They started soft, which was, hey, this is a courtesy phone call. We just want to let you know that, you missed your jury summons. We have a signature here, which you stated you would be here. Just wanted to let you know that, the judge is being pretty particular on this case and really going after people who are ditching this. And so, we wanted to figure out why you missed it, and let you know that there is a civil penalty for doing so. And hopefully we can kind of rectify this.
Yeah.
And so again, it's not like, hey, I want your money. Hey, you're going to jail.
And are you responding and is it conversational with you? Is this an AI or is this an actual, you can determine it's a human that's scamming you?
Definitely a human, because I immediately right off the bat said, because I'm in Costco, right? It's a little loud. And I'm like, all right, can you just, restate your name? Because, I flip it to speakerphone. I'm Googling the name of the sheriff, the name of the deputy. Because
smart.
I'm sitting there like, all right, come on.
Yeah. Was it not a red flag that the person told you that they had your signature for something? Like, I've been to jury duty once or twice, and I've never signed something ahead of time saying that I would show up.
So it's been it's been probably a decade since I've had jury duty. And and that's probably the big dumb education here, which is I don't even remember what the exact process was. I remember I got something and I didn't remember if I had to sign it or not. I truly did.
So but they even told you, they're like, hey, here's the address. Come on down and sort this out with us. And you look the address up. The address is the right address.
The sheriff's office in Hillsborough County. Why the hell would a scammer be telling me, go to the sheriff's office in Hillsborough County? Of course, it's like, all right, well, what's the worst that can happen? I walk in and clear it up, right?
And at that point, you're starting to believe this is actually an officer. I might be in some trouble here.
But to answer the question, they had two really good hooks that were different than normal. Number one, they said, hey, we mailed the letter on April 29th. and they had a specific date, and that date perfectly matched the week in which I had just moved to a new home.
Okay.
And then they asked a question that said, did you happen to move recently? Is it possible?
It's okay.
That's okay. We're on a bunch of radio stations, so yeah, we'll have to drop the F's and the S's, but you're good. So you thought the F word, yeah. Oh crap! And then what?
And I just moved, so they clearly cross-reference the database either with mortgages or with. You guys know how this. If you move, you get a bunch of coupons in the mail.
Yeah.
There's a public database that shows that.
This is a complex scam then. They've got a lot of info.
This call center knew what they were doing. They had the specific data points. They knew exactly when to say it, how to say it. They slowly but surely built trust, and every single thing matched.
What about the phone number that they're calling from? Did you look up the phone number that they were dialing you in from?
So here's another very creative thing that they did. So I said exactly that. I said, look, I got to get off the phone. I got to call my lawyer. I'll call you back. I said, just, who am I calling back to make sure I can get a hold of you to clear this up? And they go, sir, no problem. And they gave me a phone number and said, when you call back, ask for badge number XYZ, ask for this guy, the sheriff's name. And I Googled it, and that was the sheriff's number.
Damn.
That was the police officer's number. So what they did is they're bluffing that I wasn't going to go off the phone, and they bluffed me. Because, of course, I'm thinking, why would they give me the number of the sheriff's department?
That's crazy good. Because if at any of these points you were just like, fine, I am going to go to the sheriff's department, or fine, I am going to hang up and call back, you would have ran into a wall there. But them being so confident in that moment, you're like, well, maybe this is real. Maybe they really have me on this jury duty thing.
Again, this isn't what. Look, I got roasted online. And this is, it's been a tough couple days here, but I did it for a greater good. I was with my mom, and I'm picturing my mom on the phone instead of me, and she would have 100% paid the money.
Right.
So, did you get to a point in which they tried to get you to wire money, transfer money, Venmo, something like that? Did that part actually come up?
Yes. So about 20 minutes into it, I was driving to the sheriff's department. I figured, why not? I've got the time. I'm going there. Look, I've got an OCD personality. I don't let things linger. I'm just going to go solve it. Like, I'm innocent.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 minutes until I'm getting there, the sheriff's on the phone basically says, hey, look, I know you're getting close. I'm going to transfer you to my front desk, who is going to process your payment so that when you walk in, your civil penalty is cleared. I was like, oh, I didn't realize I had a civil penalty already.
Mm-hmm. Look at this.
Just to sign it. And they said, oh, no, sir, you have to pay a fine. And then they transferred me. And then the person on the phone was like, we're actually going to divert you to a federal processing center for payment. And that's when they lost me.
Right.
As soon as they said the payment, it was never about payment. It was only about data validation and matching everything for the first 20 minutes. So
they get you like 90% down the field, not even mentioning money. And then at the last second, they're like, you know what? You don't even have to be bothered with coming down to the location here. We could just take care of this with our payment process.
Had you fallen for it? Do you know how much you would have paid?
It was $4,500 for contempt of court, $4,500 for failure to appear. And in my DMs on Twitter, there's probably 30 different people who have reached out to me who are too embarrassed to, and I get it, like I'm not criticizing them. They're too embarrassed to publicly state it. People got swindled for $900 all the way up to $20,000.
Wow.
Jesus, man.
I have well-known people in my DMs who are like, hey, it's really just out of embarrassment. My wife fell for this. My daughter did. I had a young girl reach out to me. She was like, hey, I was in college and, I just wanted to go away. And so the stories are, they'll send you like a Venmo link. They'll send you to multiple different places. I've seen people like giving me their story and super heartbreaking, which is again why with every story I've read, I'm willing to, talk this out with you guys and embarrass myself even more. Because
you know what? I'm super glad you're doing that because people get embarrassed. They don't share this with other folks. And then when other people get that same phone call, they're not prepared, and that the information is super important. What were you going to say, Sela?
I was curious if the people that reached out to you in your DMs that have fallen for this scam, did they indicate that the scammer was telling a similar story, or were there different ruses that people should be aware of?
Combinations. Majority of them had the same storyline, but every one of them had a unique hook. So my hook was that I just moved. A couple of the other hooks were that like they had just been in a lawsuit or they're in the hospital.
And all that's public information.
All of it's public information.
Right.
Some of them, what they do, again, I give them all the credit in the world. Like, it's brilliant stuff. It's just super unfortunate. They'll call your sibling, leave a voicemail, because what that hooks them for is that when they get off when you call the sibling or something, they say, yeah, I got a voicemail about it. It must be true. Right. So they're setting these like seeds in your life. So clever. I've had a couple of deep fake guys reach out to me who stated that, more than likely it could have been an overseas call center, but with deep fake voices. So in other words, I keep saying this, it had a sheriff's voice. I don't know how to describe it, but it was earnest. It was stern. It was
Caucasian.
Not, I don't know, if you guys have ever
sheriffy
officer, it's very matter of fact.
The crazy thing is, look, you're a guy, you get tech, you're a businessman, you're young. Imagine how many older people would just be swept
swimming
up
in that
this.
money.
Yeah, it's going to get them every time.
To be clear, that's the exact reason I'm getting made fun of on a minutely basis. But but yes, that's the whole point. That's why I went viral, is because I'm not some old person who doesn't understand how to turn on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Like, if I can fall for this, I have my head on my shoulders. I am always looking out for scams. Sorry.
No, you're okay with that one. That one's good.
Yeah. I've made money in the Bitcoin realm.
Oh, can't say Bitcoin. Sorry.
No,
Bitcoin. Yeah,
but I guess what I'm saying is I've been like raised in this world of being on guard, and if it's just wild, because my heart rate was up. I don't know how to best describe that.
If they can get that close to taking like 10 G's from you, they could get a lot of people. And I'm glad you came forward and put this out there, because that does help out a lot. And we appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us, man.
Of course.
All right, then Joey Rosati over on Twitter. It's at Rosati Corp, at ROSATI CORP. Just a note for you. Tell that story to your family members, right? Other people. The more people that hear this story, the more they're going to be a little on edge and more skeptical when they get that phone call coming in. And I'm glad they didn't get the money from you, man.
Same.
Nice.
I'm hoping that if this saves one person, it's all worth it.
Good. Absolutely. All right, Joey, take it easy. We'll talk to you. We'll talk some other time.
Thanks,
there you
Joey.
go.
Bye-bye.
All right. Be careful, folks. They get clever, man.
I'm going to actually call my parents in a secret number and try to swindle money out of them.
And try to get like 10 grand out of them. Just wait till the AI.
We're like, oh, Sabrina, did you educate your parents? And she's like, no, I got the money.
Yeah. Lesson learned.
I made the most out of this.
How do you spell Rosati?
ROSATI. So he's ROSATI CORP. There's a whole viral, it's got 10 million views, the tweet thread where he explained everything that was going on here and what was happening. Also, I awkwardly told him we'll talk to him later. We probably won't. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Well, what's the update going to be? What's part 2? Hey, Joey, you still didn't pay the guy money?
Joey's in jail. It actually was...
Yeah. It was true.
He did go to jury duty. Is that what made you sign up for jury duty, Sean?
That's the ultimate twist. I didn't sign up. They just hit me up. And I don't want to be like fake Joey, because I don't want to get caught up in whatever that would be if I missed real jury duty. So there you go. There is his story. When we come back, the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I'm going to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Later today on the Jim Colbert Show, we'll get a review of the Rolling Stones concert from our boy Jack. Plus, we'll learn a little bit about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. That's Deb's pick for what to do that's new. Then we'll get some money tips with financial advisor Scott Brown. And the winner of JCS Trivia today will get tickets to see Santana and the Counting Pros, plus your calls, text, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show. Today at 3 p.m. on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey there, here's your midday weather update. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner, and we are on track for a warm afternoon. Our high temperature today in Orlando, 93 degrees. There will be some clouds out toward the west and even a couple of showers possible, maybe a storm this evening, but for Orlando remaining mainly dry today. Tomorrow, though, a different story. We're going to warm up into the mid-90s, and there's a 50 to 60% chance for some late-day storms. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by MD Now Urgent Care. For over 15 years, Floridians have trusted the physician-led team at MD Now Urgent Care for high-quality health care. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, MD Now Urgent Care is here to get you back to better. Find a location near you at mdnow.com and use their convenient web check-in today.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, "Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing." Or this one, "I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better," unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
If you're struggling to lose weight, go to Red Mountain Weight Loss. We'll show you how shedding those unwanted pounds has never been easier with a new FDA-approved drug called semaglutide that's revolutionizing medical weight loss. It's the primary ingredient in Ozempic, and it helps people lose up to 15 pounds a month easily. It's a total game changer. At Red Mountain Weight Loss, we have semaglutide in stock and ready to ship today, available in either the injection or tablet form. You'll also get the support of our licensed medical team, helping you with meal plans to speed your progress and medical solutions to prevent side effects and muscle loss. All for less than half the price of Ozempic. Put this game changer to work for you. At Red Mountain Weight Loss, you'll get quality semaglutide, your choice of injection or tablets, and all for half the price of Ozempic. Schedule your free consultation today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone, keyword Red Mountain Weight Loss.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman. Instead of talking about how great my law firm is, let's talk about autism awareness. In Central Florida alone, there are thousands of children on the autism spectrum, including my son, Jacob. I'm not asking for a donation, but just a couple seconds of kindness when you see one of our children out in public. It will make a huge difference. If you want or need any information concerning the autism community, contact me at jeff@whenyouneedus.com. Offices, Orlando.
Tired of taking allergy pills every day to treat your allergies? Aspire Allergy and Sinus has helped thousands, including me, who spent years suffering before finally doing something. Like Aaron, most migraines were alleviated almost immediately after her sinus surgery with Aspire. Or Julie, who didn't even realize it was allergy season because she felt so much better after taking her allergy drops. Fixing your allergies are easier than you think it is. Go to AspireAllergy.com to set your appointment today. That's AspireAllergy.com.
If you own a timeshare, these are scary times. From the timeshare companies that have perfected the high-pressure sales tactics to the endless pop-up exit companies that are often just as bad as the timeshare companies. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Since 2011, our mission at Wesley has been to change the timeshare industry by educating folks and helping them get out of their timeshare. Our proven process has helped over 40,000 timeshare owners get out of their timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results have made us an industry leader. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free, exposing the tricks of the timeshare industry and how we get folks out of their timeshare.
For your free info kit, call 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-254-5751. 800-254-5751. Again, that's 800-254-5751. Coverage, deductibles, and claims may vary. For details, go to endurancewarranty.com.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. If you need new windows or doors for your home, heads up. This message is for you. New South is having a one-day factory sale this Saturday only in our factory showroom. 40% off high-performance award-winning windows, 40% off energy-efficient windows and patio doors, 40% off our factory direct products installed. Bring in your measurements for on-the-spot pricing or call today. One day only this Saturday from 9 till 4. Please visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Feel the Del Air difference. Let Del Air help you declare energy independence with a new AC system for up to 50% savings on energy bills. Call or visit delair.com to book your free estimate and start saving with summer rebates, specials, and interest-free financing.
Three best friends diving into the deep end of internet culture.
And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Tuesday, a Share the Show Tuesday. And it's never too late to do that. So just shout us out to a friend or a coworker or somebody else and tell them about the show and where you listen to it. We'd appreciate that if you take just a minute of your time on a Share the Show Tuesday to spread the word about the show. All right, let's get into some final dispatches. We'll do one or two, or at least one.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
True, usually. Today we have a little more time, little tiny bit more room, so we'll see who squeaks through. Let's try Shelby Dawn. She's talking about Dr. Pepper, all right?
Hey, Junkies, podcast listener, listening to y'all talk about Dr. Pepper becoming like the #2 soda. I was never a Dr. Pepper fan growing up, but those dang Coca-Cola Freestyle machines, I work at the hospital. We have one every shift I work. I go downstairs and I get one of them cherry vanilla Dr. Peppers. Them are my jam. They're delicious. They're sweet, but it's got that tang. Woo! So good.
That is fine. What I saw this morning was not fine. It was a crime. I saw a video that's making the rounds where somebody is making a coffee. I think they're at a 7-Eleven, but I don't know. And they put like the bottom third of the big gulp cup is sugar, actual like powdered sugar. Then they fill the next third with all caramel from the squeezy thing, like the little.
Okay, this is a troll. Nobody's drinking this.
And then the top is the coffee, the top third, and they push all that together into a drink. I'm like, that is death for you.
Have fun with your diabetes.
Yeah, that is diabetes just waiting to happen right there. And it's probably too sugary to even taste good, for God's sake. But some folks out there are getting a little wild with their drinks. Here's Chi-Town Shoe talking about rude restaurants.
Talking about rude restaurants, two places that come to mind are Ed DeBevick's in Chicago and the Wiener Circle in Chicago.
Oh, that one is definitely
Wiener Circle is just a lot of fun. You can swear back and forth with the people at the restaurant, and it gets pretty intense. And Ed DeBevick's will pretty much flat out deny your order and tell you what you're going to eat. Both of them are great experiences. If you ever get a chance to go to Chicago, they're a must-hit.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
See you later.
that.
Have a great day.
Thank you for the dispatch. We'll do one last one here. Here's Waterboys.
See, what they didn't tell you is that there was a second note in the bag saying, here, tell them that there was $120,000 dropped off, and here's another bag with $200,000 in it. So, yeah.
Yeah, but how would that benefit them? The person reported it, and they're not going to be on the jury to acquit them. They screwed it up, but I'm just blown away that they had the balls to try to pull this off, because that is a risky
This is
move.
not the only juror who got it.
No.
There's no doubt.
Because there was like $80 million, I think, in the case that they were on the jury for.
$40 million, I thought you said.
$40 million was
education for
funds. Yeah, COVID education funds that they like embezzled or something. And so if they have that money somewhere, they got enough to throw around to try to buy off some jurors, and they're clearly just doing it.
At least they saved enough of it to buy off some jurors.
Yeah, they're being financially responsible with all that stolen
Investment,
money.
baby.
Let's see what we got in the stories that didn't make the cut. The daylight carjacking, we had one person who had some drug charges against him, and they believe that he was perhaps the guy who was responsible for this. But they've now dropped the drug charges against him, which is kind of interesting. They said the man accused of being involved in the deadly carjacking is no longer facing drug charges. Those have been dropped against him. And they said there was another woman who got caught up in this who took delivery of 3 kilos of cocaine. So a lot of drugs tied to this case. Some folks who used to work at OpenAI, they asked them about what they think the future of ChatGPT is. In a poll, I think 70% of them said at some point this will take over humanity. So
Cool.
Some dark, dim views there.
Love that.
They did that cosmic baseball thing that we talked about, and where they play in the dark and it's all glow in the dark balls and stuff. Huge hit. Everybody seemed to really love it. It was a big, big success. So maybe we'll see more of that. All right, time to get the hell out of here. Here we go. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. Today I Learned there was a planned sequel to this movie.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's right, Rocky Horror Picture Show. It was going to be called Revenge of the Old Queen. The script was written, the opening song was recorded, but they never ended up filming it. And a lot of diehards, and there are some Rocky Horror Picture Show diehards for sure, they're happy that they didn't do this. They didn't want it to dilute the power of the original. Today I learned people working on plant and harvest tobacco can get a condition known as green tobacco sickness from dew or rainwater on the plants. It could cause nausea, vomiting. It's basically nicotine poisoning that comes through your skin in these tobacco fields. A lot of them in North Carolina. So if you're around there, be super careful. It could be dangerous.
If you're working on tobacco fields.
This musician.
Beethoven.
Mozart is correct. Wrote a concerto for flute and harp on commission for a French flautist and his harpist daughter. Mozart was never paid for the piece and therefore never wrote for the harp again. In his 40 concertos, he only wrote once for the combined flute and harp. That's why he did that. And finally, friend, today I learned this band right here. Breaking Benjamin. Benjamin is correct. They could be playing a concert near you. Breaking Benjamin has released 3 platinum records, 2 gold records, 2 multi-platinum singles, 3 platinum singles, and 5 gold singles. even though the sole writer for the band and singer Ben Burnley has Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Always puts him in ill health, to say the least. I don't know what any of that means. All right, let's get the hell out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.